Nah, I'm trying to save for chainmail. Or for plate mail, sorry.
Oh, plate mail's really expensive in this world.
Yes, I know. That's why I wanted the 100 gold.
Yes. Yeah, 100 gold quests are really for higher level adventures. In lieu of like what was it? Wait a second. Let's try to remember what
Well, if we
number
can
was.
get to item event, we'll get a level at least.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I need like 12,000 silver, and I think total I'm at like 5 right now.
Yeesh.
So
But think of how shiny he'll be.
I will be so shiny. Not only will I be super shiny, I'll have like so much AC.
You'll be an entire human-sized mirror.
Yeah, gold rings. Your 100 gold rewards.
Right.
Yeah, you did a brass rank job. I know, not brass and copper.
I need that good money, and then I can get plate mail, and then I can have 21 AC. That's the dream.
Plate mail, huh?
Yes. Let's. How much is everybody paying
For what?
for escort?
Escort?
Yeah,
the barge is only like 15 silver per person. It's a very cheap thing. It's more along the lines of they're looking for hands more than actual guardsmen.
Right.
The overland merchant wagon is basically looking for a couple of folks for a gold piece each, but it of course is set in silver, 100 silver total.
Okay.
And yeah, the nobleman is requesting a collection of adventurers that are looking for work and is offering 5 gold pieces to look the part.
5 gold each?
Yes, appears to be.
Look the part of adventure.
No, look the part of guardsman for him.
Oh, even better.
I mean, Ender's fine with that. He used to be a guardsman. He still kind of is.
Galta can look a part. Maybe not that particular one.
Like, that's fair. We can go for the 1 gold one. It's not a problem.
Unless he doesn't mind a really fancy guard.
Hmm?
Can he handle a really fancy guard?
Looking closer at the quest listing, it involves dressing a part in the part of his actual uniform. Uniforms will be supplied. They have male and female, and multiple sizes.
Galta would want to get a look at that first.
There is a sketch of it. It looks very tacky. It is the equivalent of, when I say tacky, it's regal looking, but it's over the top regal looking.
All you have to say is tacky, and Galta is like, I'm not being caught dead in that.
Ender secretly always dreamed of trying on like super over the top regal armor. but
This is more of a Gambeston styled thing, and it's a like a mismatch of different colored black gold gambeson with a frilled no, not coif, girdle, frilled girdle of hanging leather straps and such like that. The pants are a basic full leggings of black one side, gold the other, and basically with full arm gauntlets all the way up to the elbow, which is a brown gold leather, and the undershirt of the gambeson is a black cloth looking color. The helmet is the full nose guard one, just the one with the pointy nose guard that makes it look like you're wearing a metal dick over your face.
Yeah, no.
Ah!
I'm trying to think of what they're called.
All right. Say no more. No dicks on faces.
The
Haha, noses on dowels.
this one here. It looks like this one.
Oh shit! I should know what that's called, but
Yeah.
I do not remember.
I can't remember what type of helmet that's called.
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, the nose guard. Sorry, that's the word I was looking for. A nose guard that just basically is huge. It is offering 5 gold pieces per person that does the mission, and then 10 on a. It states that it's 5 gold pieces as an upfront price, and on arrival and on good show, you get a additional bonus of 10 gold pieces.
Per person?
Yes.
I mean, I'm kind of tempted by that. I could be tacky for that.
You are more than
it
welcome,
looks-
Galtail will have no part of that gaudy mess.
Alright, duly noted. Let's go with the regular caravan then, I guess.
I won't dress up in a very gaudy uniform, but I will happily track along with that of common merchant people and protect them from goblins and stuff like that.
Yes, because I can at least look pretty good doing it.
Gotta have some standards.
15 times the pay. 15 possible times the pay compared to the actual caravan, though.
You can send Dimitri along and then take a taxi and meet them there.
You can if you want.
Like, have fun, make sure he doesn't die.
Well, it looks like there is a collection of adventurers interested in this, and apparently it states that it is along the best out of, well, a selection. The noble would make a selection out of the people that come, and only a few are actually able to fill a slot.
He would point at Dialtea just to spite her, I bet. No fucking way.
Do you at least want to visit the actual thing and see what there is?
Visit the thing?
The tryouts, for lack of a better word. Basically, the quest listing does state that anyone can apply, but only those that are selected by the nobleman are able to actually receive the rewards and go through with the mission.
Wow, what a dick.
Yeah.
You are more than welcome to try out.
Nah. I'll stick together with the rest of you guys.
That's a shame.
Well, I'm pretty sure Galtea would probably be outvoted on this, but she would yeah, I'll meet you guys later.
I mean, there's only two of us now.
Yeah, well, it's only you two at the moment. The others will meet up with you there, type thing.
Yeah.
It's just you two. You don't have to worry about the others.
Thank you. Dimitri's there.
3. Dimitri, yes, indeed.
Right.
You got someone. You should really actually find someone to play Dimitri for you. Bring in a friend.
Yeah. It's hard to find people who have open spots consistently.
Yeah, true. Well, the good thing about this is that basically we're free at the moment. I'm free at the moment to do whatever day. Anyway, if you're absolutely hell-bent against not doing this, it's a shame because it's a good little story I've made up for it.
You made it expressly to spite Galtea, though.
No, I had plans. I had plans. I know. That's why I had plans for that. We can just fast forward with the caravan.
I'm
caravan
I'm
down
playing out her
to.
flaw here.
Yeah, I'm aware. The caravan down to Idavent is basically a hand wave movement. It's a fast track. You get there and you get your pay for doing your job. But would you like to know what the actual plan for that storyline was?
Sure.
You guys arrive to apply for the job. Naturally, you guys will get it. But because Galtea is hell-bent against not getting to this gear, you're actually singled out to be the escort, and you get to ride with him in the actual carriage. And you were supplied the most finest of dresses and everything like that.
Yes, of course.
Yes. Unfortunately, the man that comes to pick out the people wasn't actually the nobleman himself. It was his aide. The nobleman himself is the usual fat, greasy-looking guy. The overly large, his tunic is definitely not designed to hold in his stomach, but the belt is trying really hard not to lose it. His hair is greasy and pulled back into a rat's tail and everything like that. It looks greasy, and if you actually anywhere get near it, it smells greasy. You're not sure if he's applying. Yeah, you're not even sure if he's applying grease to his hair to make it like that, or if it's just natural. But the catch-22 of this story is that halfway there, the wagon doesn't continue on the road. It's a trap.
Of course it is.
It's a setup. They pick out the best-looking, strongest guys who probably will have a lot of money on them because they're very successful adventurers or such, or someone that looks rich, and then kidnaps them by making them think that they're guarding.
That seems like a bad business model to try and
That's a
kidnap
terrible business model.
Find.
It amazingly works because what happens is that the nobleman didn't exist. It's
All right.
this giant setup. And what happens is that the adventurous hall is informed that the nobleman was able to escape and all that and disappeared into danger and such like that he was lost. And then it's another part 2 of it, which is hiring adventurers to save the nobleman. And they do it all over again.
Wouldn't
It's someone playing the system.
they'll have to pay that? All right.
Yeah,
They
don't
pay
make
the
too much
adventure.
sense.
Well, what it is that they pay they put the down payment of the 5 gold, and then they make a lot more selling back all the equipment to other people, or selling the people to actual slavery.
All right. Neat.
Yeah, it's a way of just taking out people, putting them into slavery, and they make a lot of money.
Yeah,
An
take the
adventurer-
strongest looking ones and then hope they don't murder us as we try to to kick their ass.
Who said that you guys were allowed to carry your own equipment? They put people in really shoddy equipment gear.
I mean, regardless, well, spellcasters still exist,
Yeah,
right?
and so does anti-spell casting.
If these guys are this well equipped and have this much money, why the fuck are they robbing petty adventurers on the road?
Because adventurers aren't petty. 9 times out of 10, adventurers actually have a lot of coin on their purse, especially a brass and copper, because at copper rank is basically when you can start accessing the bank.
They wouldn't have chosen us then because we're still tin.
Yeah, but you look rich. Yeah, brass adventurers have bank access, and to have bank access, you need a lot of money. Because that costs a good amount to actually rent out, get an account and stuff like that. Sometimes they hit up copper folk and everything like that. It's just a very interesting thing. They have plenty of different methods.
Alright.
Alright, fuck those guys.
Biggest one is the nobleman's actually a spellcaster himself. Anyway, so you sign on with a merchant company, another small-time merchant company, trying to make it their way into the actual system to get all the way down to Idavent. The trip is uneventful compared to the previous one with the goblin encounter and such. You have a feeling that the area north to the west is a little bit more haphazard, especially on the other side of the river, compared to this side, this close to Idavent anyway. So, pull you back to them. So, you leave Salvin and head back up the river across one of the major bridges that branch over the main river, and cross back into land to cross over the hills and such. It's uneventful. It's a very comfortable time. You learn a bit more about different areas and what you're expecting of Idavent. You hear tales that Idavent is basically the capital of the Kalendorian side of the continent, built on the Grand Lake. It is a city that grew from a group of villages that were built on top of the isles that are peppered around the edge of the lake itself. So you travel down the main road and you come to it itself. I'll just throw you directly into Idavent itself.
Hey.
Yay, finally made it.
At long last, we have arrived!
Storm the Adventures Hall, deal with our rank issues, and then I have someone I need to talk to.
Sounds good. Let's do that.
Side event is your basic capital city, so it's large, it's huge, and it's only got one main gate into the actual city itself. You have a feeling that it's more situated more on the water in the ways of all its ins and outs, for lack of a better word. You can see that there's a lot of vessels that travel through the lake itself, out of the actual city and into the city and such. Excuse me. Sorry. The main gate greets you, and you find yourself looking at a very odd construct itself. There is two gates, one on the left and one on the right, that's, as you can see, splits the actual entrance to the city itself. You're informed that it's called Bruidan's Gates. Didn't say that right. Give me a second, I'll try and find the correct pronunciation, because it's actually based off something.
Buridon?
Like Buridon.
Yeah, Bruidan. Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
Is there any particular reason it's called that?
Yeah. There is a, for lack of a better word, a bust of a donkey that is like a gargoyle that sits in the main central tower. And such. This donkey was basically that of Buridan itself. Ever heard of the Buridan's, the donkey's dilemma?
No.
No.
The idea is that if you put a deathly hungry and a deathly thirsty donkey between a pail of water and a pile of hay, and at equal distances, the donkey will starve to death before making a decision on which to go first.
What a lovely way to enter to tell people to enter your city.
Yeah, the idea is which gate do you enter? You're like, is there a difference between the two? There isn't. It's just that there's two gates.
Okay.
Yeah. Donkey's Dilemma is actually quite a cool little paradox idea. It's basically informed, it talks about the idea of indecisiveness can lead to your downfall. If you spend too much time thinking about a problem or such, you can end up getting nowhere. It's better to take a choice of A or B than it is to try and continue to size up the two.
It's basically about opportunity cost.
Well then, right side it is. Come along.
Sure. All right.
Regardless of which
Yep.
Regardless of which gate you enter, it's, you find yourself entering an event. You're stopped at the main entrance hall, and the merchant himself hands over your payment before moving on to the customs checkpoint. You're left to your own devices, and you're indicated towards that of the visitors checkpoint. And you see that there's a small line of people that come through and everything like that. It doesn't take much to pass through, but each one is chit-checked as they're going through the gates. You are informed that it's not much of a thing, just basic precautionary. Compared to that of Parsantrum, where the gates are always open, you have a feeling that Idevent is a little bit more secure in the way of how it's set up. The gate itself is manned by more guards than you're probably seen anywhere else, and basically you're only entering through the sally port more than the actual gate itself. The larger gate is shut.
That makes sense. Ender looks around approvingly and rather impressed.
Yes. Parcentrum basically is an open city. No one would dare attack it because it's basically your adventurer's capital. There's too many people there that know how to fight, and basically every single adventurer within Parcentrum would probably defend the whole entire city as if it's their homeland and such. Yes, chit-chatting whilst they're chit-chatting. Checking. You're informed that it's a silver piece entry fee as well upon entering the city.
Goodness. Thing is so busy. Fine. Let's get this over with.
Ender grumbles a bit, but pays.
The guardsman at the gate, as he's checking over the thing and he takes your coin, says, "And your reasoning for entering the city of Idevent?"
We're adventurers! We're going to the Adventurers Hall here.
Wonderful. You'll find that within not far of the city. It's advised that there's no real need to travel any further in. But if you do, the Isles will basically supply most of your needs.
Awesome, thank you.
No worries. Indicates to head through.
I head through.
So the Adventurers Hall you find is not far from the actual gate itself. You can see it on the map. It's a keep, for lack of a better word.
Right.
Repurposed keep. The Adventurers Hall is set up. Here you find it basically large. The Adventurers Hall is set up like a military base. Because, it used to be. The main word. Fuck me. The courtyard of the Adventurers Hall keep is basically filled with adventurers that are basically relaxing and calm, and you have a feeling that the difference between Parcentrum and that of here is that you see that the tables are more exterior. They are exterior based and such. There is a main hall, of course, where most of the actual work and business is taking part of, but you can see that that of the job board and everything like that is all outside with its
like
own little
schools
windshield.
In better, warmer weather places that have like outdoor hallways.
Basically, yes.
All right.
It's more Nordic as well, for lack of a better word. Like, you have a feeling that a lot more of this area of Kalendor, you start to feel that actual cultural difference compared to Parcentrum with its mixture of everything. This is more, you're starting to see a lot more of the heavy Nordic style culture that forms Kalendor. Germanic, Gaelic, and everything like that. In design, walls are built with a very rudimentary, solid exterior and everything like that. No.
Let's ask someone where we go to complete our rank up.
You easily find the few Adventurers Hall folk that work for the Adventurers Hall itself, the guildsmen, the guildsmams that are dressed in the style of the Adventurers Hall. It's the simple greens and the yellows and such, with the cap and the vest and everything like that. They indicate you to the main hall, and you find yourself in there, and it's very much a warm, open space as well. There's no real tavern. You have a feeling that the tavern part of what you saw in the Parcentrum's Adventurers Halls and such is more the exterior outside and such. In here, it's a little bit more business. You find the guildmams and sirs behind the counters, and they're dealing with adventurers and such, and you easily get in line and prepare and talk, and when you arrive to the front counter, you're talking to one of the people, and she introduces herself as Callan. Callan is your representative today. How may I help you?
We're here to rank up.
Have you visited?
From Parsantium.
Oh, you come from Parsantrum? Wonderful. If you could please present your chits, and we can proceed further with the advancement.
Show her my chit.
So after
Altea pulls out hers and then thinks for a moment. Show them the one you got, Dimitri.
Dimitri presents his what was it? A basic tin chit, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It's unmarked on closer look and examination, and when whips it out. When Dimitri hands it over to her, she looks it over herself and goes, a recommendation, is it? Of course. Indicates him over towards the mirror, and Dimitri is taken aside for a few moments as he stands before the mirror himself. You watch as, once again, the darkness of the mirror disappears before Dimitri and it goes clear. Then turns back to its normal state. It comes back to Dimitri, and you're also informed that Dimitri has apparently done enough working with you that he is also eligible to become a brass rank as well.
I was hoping so.
Yes, apparently that the recommendation chit that was presented to us is that of a equivalency of skill. This gentleman, Dimitri, has presented enough skill to that of the person of recommendation that the Adventurers Hall is willing to oblige by the suggestion that he is worthy of ranking up as well.
I would certainly hope so. Congratulations, Dimitri.
Dimitri nods with a smile. It is good. At least I won't hold you back.
Never.
Sure. So, congratulations, you get ranked up to brass rank. The brass rank system unlocks that of the following access. You are now equivalent of being level 3, so you can actually level up your character. Yes. You're informed that the E-class missions are now your optimal quests. You are allowed to take anything of E or below, and if you wish to apply for a D-class mission, you are now able to make an application attempt for it. You also gain access to apply for the class halls located within the main cities and any large city that is equivalent of with enough of the Adventurers Hall presence. You also are able to apply for the Calinstime Bank, managed by the Adventurers Hall, and with the permission of the two nations of Calinstime and Calandor.
Alright.
That'll certainly be helpful going forward.
Let's see, what was the information about the bank? Yes. Information about the bank is given over and is informed. For 50 gold pieces, you're able to open up a personal account. This can be used by that of the person that opens the account itself and that person alone. Any gold may be accessed through the Adventurers Halls in any of the major cities, depositing and withdrawing freely. It is a sum that is connected to your chit. The amount that you deposit is connected to your chit so that you can present that to any other Adventures Hall bank, the Caledonian banks, and you can gain access to that. Calinstime, sorry. In smaller outposts around the continent, whilst they cannot supply you the coin itself, you are able to use it as a credit system with the facilities found within the Adventures Hall outposts, if you need to do so. There is no withdrawal deposits at those locations. They do not store any gold for adventurers. If you choose to...
All right.
If you choose to actually store any items within the bank, you must return to the bank where it was deposited to retrieve the item. If you wish to open up a party bank account, this is for anyone that is registered within your chit teams. It is 200 gold pieces. Those are trusted members are able to access it, much like the personalized one. And the cost is precautionary method, as too many times adventurers have been swindled by those they thought were friends, who just withdraw everything and then leave, disappear into exist and disappear.
I think Rumble's still far above their pay grade.
Each month, the banks will take a 1 gold piece as an accounting fee for the bank accounts, and if the bank becomes empty through the accounting fees, the account is closed, and it is assumed that you or your colleagues have become missing in action. If you are unable to reinstate and keep your bank balance steady.
Banks are expensive.
Indeed, they are. You would think money is important.
What a crazy idea.
And that's why we have personal vault.
Personal vault?
I bet that's what nobles do back then, so they don't have to.
Oh gosh, yes, they at their own homes and everything like that. It's also a risk as well because that money is more easily found. In the Adventurers Hall, it is stored. The coin is stored by the event. Excuse me. Any deposited coin that you deposit with the Adventurers Hall is actually runically transported to a savings storage, where it can be recovered if necessary, if large amounts are deposited. There is no coins. Basically, the idea is that your coin goes to a more secure vault. Its location is not disclosed to keep your savings secure and safe.
And that is why you keep wizards in your family's employ. Because demiplanes.
No one knows about demiplanes in this world. I forgot to mention that.
Huh. That's why you have Layman's secret chest.
The idea is basically that the Adventurers Halls, the banks of Calinstime have a system where basically it's credit based, for lack of a better word. Your chit becomes like a credit card. You can withdraw money, but it's withdrawn from the local vault of that location, and any money that you deposit is put into a distant location and is credited towards you. That's why small outposts aren't able to actually supply it and make withdrawals or deposits because they don't have access to these abilities, where a large city or capital cities, for example, like Idavan, Parsantrum, and other large cities around the continent, do actually have access to the actual storage vaults. It also is quite safe and secure. That's why it's expensive, and that's why it is that. Main reason why it's expensive is because to open an account, your money actually has to be transported. The class guilds, the class halls. Basically, you may apply for any class that you feel is any class hall that you feel is. What's the word I'm looking for? Situational for yourself. For example, a fighter might be interested in the fighters hall, where they can communicate and talk to that of allies, of other people that train in the same methods and such. One thing I want to mention to you, David, is that if you roll underneath the average, you get to take the average.
Yes. I don't have to take a 1.
Yeah, I don't punish people like that. Basically the roll is a, hey, if you beat the average, good on you. If you don't, take the average.
Gotcha.
So yeah, you can take a 6 and you can take a 7 too.
Ah, yes. I have non-trash health. 28 health. Solid.
He says that now.
I mean, it's better than I had before.
True. So yeah, as I was saying about the class halls, I haven't fully fleshed them out yet, but the idea is that within the actual class halls is special abilities that people can learn. There's not really much for casters yet, because the idea is that if you've ever played 4th edition, the powers is what you can gain access to. Those powers and skills and arts and all that jazz.
Ooh, interesting.
Yes, 1 second, let me just get it. 4th edition Paladin.
I've never played 4th, but...
Yeah, basically in 4th edition, the skill you didn't have feats and things like that. What it was an idea that everyone had at-will abilities, and then encounter abilities, and then daily abilities. And these things were more like RPG, MMO-styled things. Like these are unique to your class. For example, a Paladin skill is for Ardent Strike. A character with can use Ardent Strike instead of a melee attack, a Bull Rush as part of a charge action, or you use in part of a Bull Rush of a charge action, where you get to add your weapon plus your strength or charisma modifier and to the divine. The target is subject to your divine sanction until the end of your next turn. Don't know what that means.
Neither do I. But it sounds cool. So, I will get me some of this class.
Oh, 1 second. What's divine sanctions? Let me scroll back up. Divine sanctions in this one was a creature subject to a paladin's divine sanction is marked by the paladin for the duration of the sanction, or until marked by a different person. The first time each round, the creature marked by the divine sanction makes an attack that does not include the paladin as the target. Wow, they take damage.
Yo, I want this.
Yes, basically if they don't target you.
This might actually work really well with what I've got going.
Yeah, which at the level is 3 plus charisma modifier of damage.
Alright, I can get behind that.
Yes, but you're informed that the ability to get that requires downtime and cash.
Yeah.
It takes probably a, I don't know, D4 plus 1 week to learn a skill of level 1.
Motherfucker.
What we do is we get it for you eventually, and then we each hit an enemy and we swap.
What do you have? Are you Ancestral Guardian?
She's a barbarian, so for example,
Yeah, so she's
barbarians would
going for like
have.
that flavored ancestral guardian.
Right. So you've got that thing that like makes things that like reduces damage and does damage. I literally got my Xanathars like a couple hours ago.
Yeah.
Oh,
So the current one is basically raging. First creature to hit with an attack on your turn becomes the target of the warriors. They have disadvantage on any attack roll against anyone that isn't you. And then
A barbarian one, foe to foe. Each foe you slay fills you with the rush of battle, and as the battle rages, you cut your way from one foe to the next. If you reduce at least one enemy to 0 hit points during the encounter, this attack will deal 1d8 extra damage. While ranging, it deals 1d10 extra damage. Basically, as long as you are killing people, you get to deal more damage to the next one. That's what you can possibly learn. Run down. What's run down? Wow, you can slow them down. They lose half their speed. Which is actually quite cool. You can actually basically shut down someone from running away from you. But yeah, there's these things that you can learn at class halls. Like I said, I haven't fully fleshed them out and made them work for 5th edition yet. But yeah, those things are going to be a bonus that I'm still working on.
all right. I can get behind this.
Yeah. Well, you got to remember how deadly my goblins were at level 2. Like, level 1 those.
Fuck your goblins, man. Fuck them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Those things are going to be still relevant up to level 5. Because, yeah, you hadn't seen the captains at full ability or anything like that. Okay, yes, I believe that's everything that you get at brass rank. The ability to apply for guild halls, ability to apply for ranks, access to level 3. Yeah, that's it. And basically, you're free to be able to do whatever you want. Is there anything you want to ask? Anything more of her? Malin?
Oh. I should probably ask where the ambassador's hall is.
Ambassador's Hall? For which nation?
Bathura.
Bathura. She moves off to the side as she starts flicking through a bit of paperwork and everything like that. Eventually, she returns to the counter and she informs you, the Bathurian ambassador is actually located not far on the Isle of Calin.
Is there a map I might see?
Yes, of course. She pulls out a map of the city and basically it looks like this. And she indicates to this large place here.
If you pinged something, I didn't see it.
Yep. I'm trying to spell embassy. I'm not spelling it right. There we go. I have not put it to the right layer.
Yeah, I was about
There
to
it
say.
is. There we go.
Ah, we found it. Great job, team.
Yes. It is located on the Isle of Calin.
Wonderful. Thank her for that. Is there anything else needed, Ender?
I'm good. I think I might need a place to stay for the night, but that's about it. Is there a place I can stay here, or should I find my own?
Roll me D100 to see if they have an actual space. Nope. Unfortunately, no. There is no possible space in any of our mercy rooms.
All right. Anywhere good I should look?
The Spear of Lightning is not far. It's on the Isle of the Unicorn.
All right.
She indicates it really not far from you where you are.
All right.
The Isle of Unicorn.
I will look there then. Thank you.
That's right. Yes. There's a reason why it's called the Isle of the Unicorn.
Does it have a unicorn?
No, it looks like a unicorn's horn.
Aha.
I think it looks like a pickle.
Do you say that to them?
No. I assume that they're not. Well, maybe.
Do they even have pickles in this world?
That is a good question. Are there pickles?
Yes, there's pickles.
All right. I probably don't say that out loud, but out of character, it looks like a pickle.
Yeah, you think this one would look like a pickle. Or a unicorn.
Ooh, that one also looks like a pickle.
That's another. That's
the alicorn.
I didn't
one.
see.
This one looks like a tiny pickle. Yeah, that one's probably more of a unicorn horn than that one. Unicorn horns
that one's a
aren't
yam.
like... Yeah, unicorn horns aren't like slanted like that. Anyhow, regardless of the names of islands, let's go. Do you need any? Do you need or do you want any company on your visit to the embassy? I'm honestly curious what's going on there, and it sounds like somebody did something bad. And you know me, I'm all about punishing people who did bad things.
Yes, I suppose we should discuss that first.
Ender raises an eyebrow.
Let's level up. Because I will need to talk to him about that when I get there, so I'll try to slowly explain.
I assume you've walked away from the counter by now.
Yes.
Good.
Yes. This is a find a discreet place to go and talk.
This is probably at one of the tables outside in the main courtyard.
All right, neat. Ender keeps a lookout for anybody who might be trying to listen.
Everyone's too busy with their own personal needs.
He does it anyways.
Really, it's like, yeah, no worries. But as just like a thing to save you from bothering to try and roll something, there's no one listening.
All right.
Your passive perception beats anyone that would be trying to listen if they were.
All right, cool.
Just explain that she's looking to kind of get back at her second cousin who lives in Prosantium.
What did he do?
Let's start with attempted murder and stealing of what would have been my rightful position.
Ooh.
I have
That's
Very
bad.
good thought to believe that he may have been involved in the deaths of my brothers.
That's bad. Do you have any evidence or anything?
Oh, given that the bandits I had to take care of screamed their hearts out about being hired by him before I destroyed them. It's a good start.
Right. Okay. Well, you know what my mom always told me?
What?
It goes around, comes around. But sometimes you have to be what comes around. You understand me?
I would not be here if I didn't.
Good. Let's go to the embassy.
Just to let you know, this is not the cousin I'm looking to deal with.
We're going to see your cousin at the embassy?
One of them, yes. Not the one I'm
Oh.
looking for, but the one
Okay.
I need.
All right. Lead on.
Start heading down through towards Isle of Caelan.
So you pass you cross the bridges over the thing, and you find that the Isle of the Unicorn is decked out in a interesting display of colors and such. It shows that each of the bridges actually mark what isle you're going on to, with a plaque that is put in the center of each bridge. It's not hard to see despite the traffic that crosses over it regularly. It's a very large plaque, almost consuming 90% of the actual end of the bridge step. Each of the roads coming in and off the things. The main land itself doesn't have a name. It's just the city itself, whilst the isles are unique, it seems. You pass the inn with a sign that shows a spear made purely out of lightning. At least that's what the inscription looks like, and the title underneath, which says the Spear of Lightning. This most likely is the inn that was mentioned. Simple single-story building, of course, with carved wooden doors and such. You can see that it's quite large regardless, and must contain a large amount of rooms somewhere to the rear of the building. You cross over the next aisle and cross over the Isle of the Horse, which is the next one across the line. The Mare, actually, is what it's called.
All right.
Yeah, like this
Yeah,
one.
quite-
No, this one actually looks like a unicorn because it looks kind of like the horse head, and then there's the horn.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you got a good point.
It's a stick. It's a stick unicorn because it's got this this thing down here.
Done. Sold.
Oh. Sure. Okay. Can the other one be the Isle of the Pickle then?
No.
Aww.
It can't be because that's this one.
There's the Spear of Lightning, which is the large building here. So what's the first one called? Let's see. The Isle of the Unicorn.
That's the Isle of the Index Finger.
The Isle of the Waggling Finger.
The Wand. The Isle of Wands. The reason why it's called the Isle of Wands is that basically the large building that you see just directly in the center there is a large library.
Ah, so there's a lot of wand use going on in that library, I see.
Wizards.
That's why it's crooked to the
So
right.
a lot of solo wand use going on in there.
Oh,
then.
you're funny, funny man.
This isn't Monday Night Game.
Okay. The Spear of Lightning's there. Now the question is, which fork do you take? Do you head up north, or do you take the one to the right?
already near. I assume for passing the Spear of Lightning, we're already near this one, so might as well just go up and over there.
Spear of Lightning's located on the fork, so you're more there at the moment. You can take a left or you can take a right.
Ah. Well then probably a left at this point.
Left? Okay, so what's the name of this aisle?
Head up to the, Oh, I was assuming you'd, like, be going, like, up over here, and then across this bridge, and then up that way.
Oh, over that one? Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Gotta go past the actual unicorn horn.
that one's called the Isle of Man.
I can kind of see it. That one I can kind of see. It's kind of like a Easter Island type thing.
Yes. The Isle of Calin is basically where there's a large building located within the center of it. It doesn't seem to be in Bathorium design, but you can see that it has the mixture of not only the Bathorium mark, but Alun's mark as well. Their flags hanging up on the banners. Alun, Galandar, and Anun basically sit up above that of Bathoria. It goes Galandar, Alun, and then Bathoria to represent that it is actually more along the lines of Galadar's embassy.
So many islands.
Hmm?
So many islands, so many things.
Yeah, Galadar is actually the continent where you guys came from.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anun is basically the capital city and the current divine, powerful powerhouse of Galadar. Gelda, sorry. Gelda. Anun is basically, I described it to Zoe last night. The capital city of Anun is very odd. The citadel itself is on a very tall plateau that is probably about 20 to 30 stories high in height. That sits above the rest of the city, and from the city comes these three giant waterfalls that constantly pour out of these large chutes that come down the side of this citadel. And these chutes actually seal up at the bottom, and when they seal up, the water fills it up to the top, where the vessels that come, large ships and such, are able to leave the citadel on this, and then it gets emptied back into the ocean in a way of like a water lift. And the rest of the city of Anun is basically gondola roads. There is paths and stuff like that for traffic that's throughout the city, but most of the locals use gondola to travel between the different things, as there is crisscrossing little gondola paths that get sealed when the the water lifts are actually in use. It's a grand display because usually these water lifts are rarely used by any of the ruling parties of Anun, and when they are used, the main channels basically go into low tide style thing, like all the water drains almost out of it except for whatever's coming from the ocean itself. And the gondola paths are sealed so that the water that's in there is not disturbed too heavily. No one knows why there's water coming out of this thing because it doesn't look like there should be water coming from it. But water does. And in great amount. And they're the leading faction that runs Gaelda. Continent where you're from. We all good?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, When you approach the main gate, you find yourself looking at uh, a nun dressed and styled guards who stop you from entering, of course.
Also,
Can we
on the
have
way
business
up,
here?
Galtail mutter under her breath,
Oh, yeah.
just so that Ander knows. Things may be a little strange because technically I'm supposed to be dead.
Ah.
Drop that bombshell, why don't you?
Okay. Ender looks questioningly at you.
Okay, so as you approach the main gates
Safety reasons.
of the embassy...
I'm sure you understand.
Am I good to speak now?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, I kept interrupting. As you approach the embassy, the gates are being manned by what look to be Anun-dressed guards. You're very much used to seeing these type of folk from your previous encounters with the actual Nun bureaucracy that when you did your training and such like that when you were younger. So, considering all the other guards of the actual continent so far look completely different, this is almost like a breath of fresh air. Almost at home. Sure, it's nice to see the flag of Bothoria flying above the actual thing as well.
Always good.
Always good. Though, of course, you don't see anyone dressed in Bathorian-style armor either.
I'm sure that costs a lot to to bring over here. They probably wouldn't like it that much.
Yeah.
Outside of Persantum.
Yeah, well, it's also funny considering that Parcentrum was like a bastardization of the breath of fresh air.
Yeah. Another great reason to be out of it.
Yes. Anyway, as you approach the gates, you are stopped, of course, and the guardsman stands. Reason for attempting to enter the embassy is... Let me rephrase that. The embassy is closed to public access unless you are of requirement to enter the embassy for immunity and such, blah, blah, blah. He keeps going on about for a good 3 minutes worth of explanation of why the fuck you can't enter.
Yes. I do have an appointment with Lord de Vitellia. You can pass along the message that was given if that helps anything.
He looks at his compatriot. We have not been informed of any appointments with the Bathorian diplomat.
Pass along this message and I'm sure everything will be taken care of. Mons in agris.
Gives you a questioning look.
The Lord will understand.
Right. We'll do just that.
Thank you.
He doesn't.
Just slightly getting irritated. Then who do I have to talk to pass along my message?
We'll pass it on for you.
Just kind of staring him down. Dimitri, do you see the pass along my message here? Or am I deceiving me?
No, madam, you're absolutely correct. They are apparently not willing to agree with you.
I'm trying around. Do these people look like they're Bathoran or they're just from this place guarding?
They're nuns.
Oh, nuns, of course.
Norman style, very much Norman. Britannic-esque in style and dress and form and everything like that. Saxon Norman.
Mm-hmm. So what's the usual procedure for?
I'm trying to think of that right now.
Yeah.
From basically what you've been used to, it is along the lines of Bathoriums are really the second class of the Galadean bureaucracy. Hence the location of the flag being at the dead bottom. They are more of a vassal state, a vassal country to that of Anun in the Galadean continent. Uh, which is amazing considering the fact that the Orcish lands are basically also another free country, only because no one could be fucked to try and conquer their land because it's useless marshland. So basically, they're not even invited to this system. From what you can remember, there is a general procedure that needs to be followed, and unfortunately, it requires, well, a few things. Number one, a signet ring.
Done.
And yep. And number two is a letter of basically what's the word? Letter of monkey's uncle. Verification. No, it's not verification. What is it? Give me a second. I'm trying to remember what it's called. Letter of introduction.
And this is why she was sending stuff out weeks ago.
Yes. Unfortunately, your mum had informed you that attempting to write up a letter of introduction for you would require a revealment of your existence.
Not even as somebody else in the family.
No one else in the family is over here.
No, I mean like writing the letter of introduction
Oh,
as
yeah.
being of somebody else in the family.
Basically, the moment your cousin got the diplomatic rights, his family became the only ones who had reason to be over into Calinstime. And your family was basically forced to remove their hands from any attempts to do anything over here. That's
See,
kind of
all
why
of
your
this stuff would have
cousin...
been good to know way back when I was making these plans.
Yeah, sorry. More along the lines of I completely forgot to talk to you about it. The guard itself... Roll me a persuasion check to convince him to do it. Not with advantage.
But that's still a 20 even without advantage.
Oh my god. After a few moments of trying to convince him and talking to them and pressing your need and everything like that, he eventually sighs heavily and turns to his compatriot and says, "Give me a few moments." And he retreats to the main door where he communicates with one of the door guards, before eventually returning to the front gate. Your message has been passed along. Now, if there's something else that you need, I suggest that you get in contact with someone that cares.
So if that was the message she was getting through, and that's all that she would be able to do. Part of the message would have been they'll be at the Spear of Lightning.
Yeah, of course. I was gonna say I was going to believe that you would have said that where you'll be located at least.
Yeah. And then just like stare daggers at these guys and then eventually turn around and have.
Your mum would have said something along the lines of needing a letter of introduction, probably would have given you what you could have possibly have said to them to try and get the diplomat to be able to talk to you and everything like that, which is what you basically had the ability to do. By getting that information to the person, it became really much of a difficult thing to do.
Dealing with family is difficult.
Dealing with politics is worse. From what you can remember of your conversations with your mother and through the letters and things like that, she can only assist so much because of the way that the political systems work with the embassies and the diplomatic work of Anun's system. The Bathurian nobles were only able to present 3 diplomats, whilst the Anunians basically have 7 over here and everything like that. And basically, the Bathurians didn't get much in the way of actual profit from any of these trade deals.
Yeah. She just chose this particular one because her mother was a Diva Talia.
So, do we remember what the this diplomat was called?
Count Sandro de Vitellia. Basically, her. What is he at? First cousin, maternal first cousin. Her mother's nephew.
Excuse me. So, just quickly, could you just paste in, give me that information so I can put it in my notes again? So one thing I'm enjoying so much about some of these Windows updates is that they're really forcing me to use this OneDrive. It automatically saves to OneDrive, and then I lose my information because it signs me out for some fucking reason.
Can I just force OneDrive out?
Let's see, which one was it? Sandro. Okay. So after that, you're left standing in front of these guardsmen in front of the embassy and such.
In a huff.
Okay.
Gods and nuns.
Yeah, there is no love between Anuns and Bathurians.
Yep. She's showing that pretty easily.
Yeah, the vassalage is more of a old rivalry of the Anuns basically owning the Bathurians in an old war and basically kind of trapped themselves into a peace treaty that has them underneath the Anunian thumb so bad it's really too much work to get out. If you get my drift.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just too much work then to crush the Bathurians, so they leave it as is. It's a weird case of you hate to love them type thing. It's like one giant football match.
Mostly just hate at this point.
Yeah,
Right now, at least.
yeah. Oh, it's such a back and forth between the Inns and the Bethurians. In fact, there is only one Bethurian on the royal circle, and that's a general of the army.
Royal Circle?
Yeah, the only ones that are able to be on the Citadel. None. It's a bad choice of words for saying royal circle, but it's more along the lines of the collection of people that are able to actually be up at the Citadel of a nun. Though, of course, the Bethurian general is never really up there.
Yeah, not even the Emperor? Or Empress, is it?
Yeah, interesting. No, they're not. It's a case of the Bethurian general is the prince. It's one of those things, you know what I mean?
Yeah, fucking patriarchy.
Yeah. It's more of one of those cases of you send your son and daughter to be given to that of your enemy so that it is a peace treaty type thing.
Sorry, I missed that. I had to open the window really quick. It was getting way too hot in here.
You know how in some cultures they send they firstborns or their secondborns to be a hostage?
Oh.
It's a hostage with a position.
God damn it, Noon.
Yeah. You gotta remember, I based the Anuns off Normans, and they later become the French, remember?
Damn French.
Oh, if you ever looked at the War of the Roses, oh,
Oh yeah, shit's fucked.
that shit's fucked. The political shit in that was so ass backwards, it's not even funny that it becomes funny. Anyway, you have free reign of the city. Are you just gonna head back to the inn and rent a room, or are you gonna explore?
Right now, at least Galatea is a bit miffed. Again, Ander might have to pull her attention if he wants to go shopping or wandering.
I'm continuing to save, I think. So no shopping for me. I might go refill my potion flask. Yeah, my potion flask. But that's about it, because I think I'm down a charge, so I might as well recharge.
So you search for an alchemist center.
I do that.
Okay, well, try aisles over here. You're gonna love this pun.
The tri-aisles? Did I hear?
One second. What is it called?
The trials.
The Trials of Exchange.
That's awful. I love it.
Yes, the Trials of Exchange is basically the merchant aisles. Basically, any shop is located basically in these three aisles.
Looks like a heart and a set of lungs.
But it also looks like a triangle. So, let's go there.
Okay. You're able to find one of the alchemist stores there, and you do find out more information about the flasks. They are not refillable. They are
Oh.
No,
Okay.
they're not refillable. Basically, you purchase a flask, and when it empties, you can get it refilled, but you can't stock it up. It doesn't work like that.
Oh, okay. Okay. That's cool.
Yeah. The reason for that is mixing the basic alchemical things is a bit of a risk because every flask has a slight difference in the thing, and it could cause contamination or it could cause a pause. You could try it if you're willing to risk the chances of side effects.
I'll pass.
Well, the side effects could include just basic diarrhea to it not doing anything.
None of those sound fun. I think I'll pass.
Yes. Most do. It's at that point that you are then offered a selection of more flasks to purchase if you wish to purchase more
Ooh,
dosages.
What other flasks do we have?
Once again, you have your basic flasks of the healing variety and different few other things. There's one of let me just pull up the potion list. I mean, I clicked the wrong fucking thing, didn't I? Why does it do that? I really don't get that. Let's see. Endings. Then we go to Osmot. So, there are vials. Basically, your potions of healing are generally sold in flasks, whilst all the others are small vials. Basically in the size of like test tubes or smaller like bottles and everything like that. You see a wide selection of different types: accuracy, alertness, a vial of climbing, concentration, or courage. There's a vial of courage. Apparently, it's distilled courage. You're informed. There's divine focus, apparently, and such. Jumping, sleep, speed, strength, and true sight. As well as vials of antitoxin that are sold in packets of 3.
I think I'm good. The only ones that I'm interested would be the buff ones, and I think I get most of those effects at first level anyways.
The what, sorry?
I think I'm good. The only things that I'd be super interested in would be the buff ones, and I think I get most of those effects at first level anyways. I will compliment him on his lovely selection of flasks, though.
You do also. The main thing about the alchemist stores is that whilst they have a large selection of vials and potions and jars which contain different salves and such, it's mostly filled with the aroma of different herbs and spices all filling this room, incenses and such like that. They're used actually in the making of these actual things. You actually see alchemist gear and herbalist kits and such spread out throughout the whole entire store. You even see a small selection of what looks to be perfumes.
Okay.
Sitting in different little things and bottles, empty bottles and vials and different supplies and such like that. Reams of paper and parchment stored aside.
Okay.
The alchemist stores basically fitted for people with the skill of alchemy or herbalists.
Right. Unfortunately, I am neither of those things.
No worries. But yeah, flasks are not refillable.
I will gladly go around and smell all of the good-smelling things.
Yep.
As long as the alchemist is okay with me doing that.
Oh yeah, there's plenty of other adventures in the store as well.
All right, then I will do that, but I do not have the alchemy or herbalism skills to make use of any of this.
You do find a small bookshelf with a few beginner's guides and the dummy's guide to alchemy and such like that.
That could be promising.
They have a price of 20 gold pieces, though.
Not at that price. They are not that promising.
Knowledge is expensive.
It is. So is plate mail, though.
So is everything.
It really is.
These books are actually very sought after by alchemists and young such people. Alchemy is much of a case of everyone needs a potion type thing, so it is a good return for your goods and such. There is. Roll me an investigation, Chris, quickly. You do find a small book, more of a booklet, small book of probably about 10 or so pages called the Rudimentary Guide to Herbs and Plants, and it comes in at about a cost of 3 gold pieces. And apparently, it shows a quick look at it. You see that it shows basically a simple guide on what are the most sought after herbs and spices, and different types of plants that can be used by alchemists and herbalists and such.
Okay.
You find an alchemist pamphlet. It's called Minecraft.
Basically, it's like these are the things to look out for if you're in the wild type stuff.
Okay. And I assume that alchemists and herbalists and the like would be willing to pay for said things.
Generally, yes.
Excellent. Let's invest in my future. I will grab that.
Okay. So the cost of it is 3 gold pieces, though.
All right.
Yeah, so...
Is
Done.
this your first step towards the Bubblegum Shrimp Corporation?
Bubblegum shrimp.
Maybe. You don't know that.
So, what this book will give you is basically it's like half proficiency bonus on any nature checks that you attempt to do on identifying any plants.
Okay.
It doesn't give advantage or anything like that, but it gives you half proficiency. Minimum of 1, of course.
Right.
And hey, you might actually find something. A quick flick through it. It's basically like small little paragraphs of about 30 or so words with a small little picture hand drawn in a box, which shows an image of what the plant should look like, with an explanation of its color, its shape, its smell, and even its taste, and even little warnings saying don't taste this on things on certain items. You can see mushrooms, actual leaves, different types of roots, and actual vegetables and such like that. There's even one which says that looks like a strawberry. But you have a feeling that from its description and the fact that it says do not taste, it's not a strawberry, despite every single bit of the definition, the color, and the look, appearance, and smell. It says strawberry, it says do not put in mouth.
All right.
It's cool.
The person who wrote it just really doesn't like strawberries.
No, actually, it's called shit.
Rawberry?
No.
The schnozberries taste like schnozberries.
Nah, yeah, that's not. No, I'm trying to find the information. I remember it because Brass and I made it up as a joke that some modern day fruit and vegetables actually are in the thing, but they're actually poisonous. It's called the lyreberry.
Okay.
Yes. And it is spelt Lyre. In case you're
Look
wondering.
a thing like a liar, just like all the islands don't look right.
Yeah, no, the idea of the liaberry is that looks like a delicious looking fruit. It smells like a delicious looking fruit, but it's actually quite poisonous. And the information, some of the information, like the side notes about it, is that apparently its seeds then actually come out as it causes heavy diarrhea, and it literally goes straight through the digestive system, so that next time you go to relieve yourself, you're actually sowing its seeds.
Neat.
This is the kind of information that you can get from this.
All right.
Or it could not be poisonous and do the same exact thing.
Oh no, it's less poisonous and more it causes diarrhea bad. It's a laxative.
Ah,
It's basically a laxative.
duly noted. I will not eat the strawberries.
Liaberries.
Liaberries. My bad.
Right underneath the liaberry is an image of a strawberry.
Damn it, book! Why do you tease me so?
The difference between the two is actually the leaf and the stem. Apparently, the liaberry has half the amount of leaves on its thing that a strawberry would have.
That's a weird thing.
Yeah, nature.
Man.
Damn, it should be twice as many so that you can pretend it's one by plucking some leaves off the other.
I mean, you could pretend a strawberry with a liaberry, but what would be the point in that?
Exactly.
So you can keep people from stealing your strawberries.
That is true.
Oh man.
Or show somebody that you're like a poison. you handle poisons perfectly.
Oh, just imagine that there's a strawberry farmer out there that goes out every morning and makes sure that every single strawberry has less leaves on the thing than it should. Just so that everyone thinks that he's growing liaberries.
So everybody thinks he's an idiot, but nobody steals from him.
Yeah, basically. No one's going to risk stealing his strawberries. God, that's brilliant. It's a small patch that he has that he just goes out every morning and makes sure that
it's gotta be some kind of
fresh.
wizard or something like that, so they can just use magic to quickly pluck leaves in a bunches.
Probably.
Unseen servants.
Oh man, animate objects do it for you.
There you go.
Liaberry patches.
Animating strawberries to pluck themselves, you monster!
I wasn't thinking that. Gosh, that'd be cruel and unusual.
It's already unusual.
As you're moving through the actual aisles of exchange, trials of exchange, you do stumble across another store, which has a very, very much a name that sounds very familiar. It's called the Curio Exchange.
Ah, yes.
I feel like I should remember that name, but I don't.
Yes, that's where I managed to do a little bit of an exchange for a magic item before, but not quite what I needed.
Huh.
Well, I didn't say it was a bloody thing of disguise. You asked him about a way of disguise for a person, and you didn't say that it was a tiefling, so he didn't know that you were after something that would hide a tail.
Of which apparently the answer is nothing.
It can make him look like a normal person instead of the tinge on his skin. Make his horns look more like hair. You have played around with it. Basically, the pigments of the horn's actual thing would have a more hair-like texture looking of it. At a distance, it looks like a bit of hair rolled up in buns instead of horns, depending on how his horns are positioned.
So, question: if we tested around with it, could it have been like camouflage?
Yeah, it can easily be camouflage.
It's a good start.
It basically allows you to change the pigmentation and the texture of certain things. It doesn't change it to the point of complete disguise of removal of the thing from existing. It doesn't give the ability to... It's not perfect disguise. It's just simply you change the color. You change the color and the texture, at best. And it's only appearance. It's fails at touch, of course. Like you try changing a woolen blanket to a silk blanket one night to have a bit of refinement in your rest, and it felt like a wool blanket despite the fact that it looked like a silk. If you're following.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, hiding a tail is not what it can do.
Hiding a lot of wrinkles? Yeah.
Well, basically, it would make the wrinkle image look more smooth by giving it a little bit more of a youthful color. Closer inspection would show that there are still wrinkles. It's just that they wouldn't be so prominent. Your face would be a lot more youthful in pigmentation than it would be in the dry, older skin tone. Basically, like putting on the cream stuff that your grandmother might put on her face. Oh, did you remember to add 1, 2, 3, 5 more days to your counter?
Ew, where was that?
Where did you put it? I can make a new handout for you, so you can write it into your sheet as well.
Probably a good idea.
In Yellowtail.
It was like a day or two before we went to the tournament, or the challenge.
Hmm?
Neither I can't remember how far it was out from Persantrum.
Okay. So it should be in your PC2 handout. Can you see it?
Yes.
One of the things that you do note about the Curio Exchange is that the store itself does not look like the one from Parcentrum. It's its own little unique store. Its storefront is very much a closed building. There is a few windows, but they act more like light sources and sunroof type things. Like they're not the full window that you saw in Parcentrum. Quick look, you see it's actually more cleanly built and designed. Like, there's no maze of shelves as you look in. It looks more like a pawn store. Like everything is laid out and shown in precise ways and everything like that.
I will never not hear porn store.
Pawn. I can't pronounce it like the Americans do. Pawn star. Pawn shop. Pawn shop. Pawn. W there.
Pawn shop, yes.
Pawn shop. Yeah, I gotta say it through my nose because I am American.
So you don't end up saying porn shop.
Pawn shop.
Right? There are so many pawn shops in the city.
So many pawn shops. Shit. No, I don't think we. I don't even know what they're called here in Australia. I don't think they are pawn shops here in Australia. I think there's something else. Pawn. I'm trying to use words that you'd know.
Consignment, probably.
Yeah, probably.
I know it's a pawn shop. Pawn shop. Pawnbroker.
Huh. So Pawn Stars exists in Australia.
How on earth are you supposed to pronounce it so it doesn't sound like you're talking about porn?
You don't do the R.
Porn.
It's pawn and pour.
Yeah.
Pawn. Pawn.
You gotta have that W sound in there.
Well, you see, the Australian language pronounces W as an O sound, not an ah sound. So that's why it sounds like pawn. 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 That's what I said. Pawn shop. And you heard porn. Orn is what I would say for pawn. I still say pawn with bloody... I'm gonna say it however the fuck I want to say it, man. And you can think I'm talking about porno.
You do you, man. You do you.
I can't stop myself from making it sound like...
That's what the library island is for.
The Isle of Wands.
Yeah, the Isle of Wands has a lot of porn shops. It's nothing but wands.
Pawn. Dude, guys, I say specific whenever I try and talk about a specific item. I don't say specific. I say specific item. I forget to add the S at the start of the word. It's just how I speak. Fuck it, drives
You
me
are
insane.
in the Pacific, aren't you?
Yes. No, but Curious Exchange is basically a lot more neater, for lack of a better word. Everything has a place, it seems. Everything has a price tag. Still run by a halfling. You can see the young halfling dealing with a customer at the moment. Discussing something as you stick your head through the door. A curio shop basically entices curiosity.
Right.
I don't think you've ever been to a curio shop, have you? In my world.
Not in this world, no.
The curio shops are actually run by a family called the Curio family.
Oh, neat.
The great thing about these stores is basically they could have a possibility to hold anything you guys can think of. Will it be in your price range? Probably not. But it might be there.
Let's take a look inside.
Sure.
What's in the Curio Exchange?
So, as you enter the store, there is a ding-a-ling as a bell rings. You feel a little bit of a shiver down your spine, Galatea, because it sounds exactly like the same bell sound when you entered the curio cabinet back in Barsandra.
Yep, that sounds about right.
Yeah, it's a very distinct sound, for lack of a better word. More so that because the store's more organized style of appearance, you actually subconsciously look behind you towards the door and you actually notice there is no actual bell.
Oh. That's weird.
You'll get used to it.
The halfling doesn't really pay much mind. He continues dealing with the actual customer at the counter at that time. You're left to your own devices. There is a few, for lack of a better word, display stands and everything like that with small knickknacks that act as like a counter with larger items behind the counters themselves, mostly behind mesh things for the more expensive looking items. There are a few stands in the center that display large things like armor and different bookcases and stuff that line the walls and everything. One of the interesting things that you do note is that there is no other employees except for the halfling. From what you can hear, the customer is arguing with the halfling in a very aggressive type manner. For lack of a better word, it sounds like a discussion about the price of something. Come on, you cursed bloody woman. Look, this thing came from a ruin not far from the capital. It's got to be worth more than bloody one piece of gold. It's got to be at least 20 gold. Yeah. I'm sorry, but it can only be that of 100 silver. No more, no less.
That's quite the disparity in price.
The discussion continues going and keeps going until eventually the adventurer grabs the item off the halfling and retreats from the store itself. As the bell rings and the door closes, she looks up towards you guys. Greetings and welcome to the Curio Exchange. How can I be of assistance today? I am Curia.
We're just taking a look around. We were very
Wonderful.
curious.
Yes, I've heard that one before. Trust me, I hear that every reunion.
We were curious, though. I'm sorry, but it was true.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, if you need any assistance, please let me know. I am just a call. So at this point, she hops down from what appears to be a stool, of course, behind the counter and begins to set at work cleaning a few of the things with a polishing rag. Pulling them out from the display cabinet that she was standing above and giving them a wipe down before returning to their place, adjusting it in a meticulous way that everything is set in a perfect position.
Okay. I will be sure not to touch anything, but I will lean over things and examine them very closely.
Is there anything in particular that you're looking for? Quite literally, I don't tell you what's on for sale. You tell me what you're looking for, and it might appear on the shelf. Is it plate armor?
That is one thing, yes.
Well, there is a large selection of different armors, all on armor stands and posed in different positions, as the mannequins are looking like they're ready for war or standing at attention with their hands before them behind a shield that sits in front of it. The shield itself has its own price tag, of course.
Right. I could do with a decent shield too. What do we got for armor though? Do we have any plate and or splint?
Yeah, they're there. Is there anything special that you're looking for, or is it just basic equipment?
I assume that I can't afford plate right now by the book price, anyways.
How much do you have?
I have. Comes out to around 50 gold.
1 second. What I got to do quickly is edit something because I discovered I can actually do a quick little bit of editing, and I can make the gold show exact on. Oh, 1 second, Ender. David Ben.
No worries.
what I'm doing in the back here is editing up a thing, and that will actually tell you exactly how much you have now.
I have 47.98.
Is that right? Yeah. With this quick, it turns the I made it now. It's read 100 silver, so that's how you get your cash there.
Neat. All right, yeah. So I have 47 gold and 98 silver.
Okay. Unfortunately, all the plate armor is definitely out of your price tag. That.
Yeah, it's like 125. What about shields?
The shields, there are actually a few of them there. Each of them are in varying prices. There's a few that are actually at a base price, a little bit of an increase in the price. Comes in at about 25 silver for a base shield. Give me a second, I'll pull up my listings for the different types of shields, because it's actually more than just the usual normal shield.
Right, there's like the kite and the tower shield as well.
Yeah. Let's see, where is it? Probably. This equipment changes. Alright, so there is bucklers, there is round shields, which is your basic shield, kite shields, and interestingly, there is a Bathurium-styled tower shield as well.
Right.
That's at least something nice and nostalgic.
You recognize the shield. At least the emblem that is located on the shield itself. It is actually of one of the noble families.
Oh, which one?
Your cousins.
Yes, but which one? There's 4 families.
Trying to remember, get the name.
There's
The cousins.
yeah, there's either
There's
Decembri, De Vitalia, De Sergia,
Cimbri.
or
Yes,
Decembri,
Cimbris.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Oh yeah, then the nostalgia just goes away immediately.
Hmm.
Just very upset at this one now.
Yes. It does stand out, though, to you.
I would think it would.
Hmm. What is Decembri's symbol?
Let me see. They were more merchant based, so probably. So the Diaveries have like that mountain symbol with the gems, so maybe like.
You can think it
I'll
up.
think out later.
So, as you're looking at the shields, and a moment passes before suddenly you hear the voice of the halfling behind you. Are you interested in shields, are we?
I am indeed.
Wonderful. We have a large selection of them, as you can see. There's a few more in the back room if you're interested. I keep them all meticulously cleaned and presented well for you. Is there a certain requirement to your shields of your defensive nature?
Do you have anything enchanted?
Plenty.
The ones out here, I presume, are all mundane.
Not all of them, no. She points out a few. These ones do have a few basic rune marks on them. They are not perfect, but they are able to do what they need to do.
Okay.
Is there a certain type of thing that you're looking for your shield to be able to do?
Well, so I've got this this Shield Master ability.
Yes.
I'm looking for either something that augments that. So like I can take a bonus action to bash people with my shield and knock them over, right?
Yep.
Would it be possible for me to get something that would add damage to that?
Right.
Spice to it.
Let's see. Let me just remind myself about what Shieldmaster does.
There's like 3 separate effects to it. There's one that's if you take the attack action on your turn, you can use a bonus action to try and shove a creature within 5 feet of you with your shield.
Okay.
I think it's a shove 10 feet or knock prone.
Okay. Right. There we go. So, basically, one thing that I want to mention is that you probably already have do you have a round shield as your shield?
Yeah, I have a basic round shield.
One thing that I should say is that with round shields, you can choose to lose your defensive bonus from your shield to deal damage with that as well.
Right.
So let me just copy this down.
I like my damage bonus, though.
Yeah.
My damage bonus, sorry.
Yeah. So that's basically what a round shield can already do. As it's a basic shield, it offers no bonus protection, but can be used as a weapon by using it as to bash at opponents dealing damage. Fortunately, you lose the defensive bonus on the shield as you have left yourself open to attacks. I mean, you literally open yourself to an attack to bash somebody with it. Where basically using your shield master will allow you to deal damage whilst keeping up your and push them down. You'd still lose your thing, use it to deal damage. So already you can deal damage with your shield, but you lose your bonus for that turn.
Is there something in here that would allow me to not lose my bonus for that turn, though? Kind of my question.
When you ask that question, she pauses for a few moments and disappears back out back, and comes back with another shield. We do have this one here. This is another round shield, and as you can see, it is rune marked here, and here, pointing out each of the rune markings. You can see that they are scribed on there, and they're not actually smithed into the shield itself. These markings allow for a basic protective bonus. You can use your reaction to recover that of your defensive nature.
How much is it?
Its pricing is that of. Let's see. Sorry, let me give me a second. Keep clicking.
No.
Let's see. $15 gold pieces.
Okay.
These rune markings allow the user, basically allow the shield to be a little bit more lighter and
right.
basically recoverable. At least that's the in-term game thing.
The fluff for it.
Yeah, the fluff for it.
Okay.
But yeah, basically the shield will allow you to use your reaction to recover the defensive bonus after using a bash attack.
Okay. The other thing I wanted to look at, I guess, if we're looking at shields. So Shield Master has another thing where I can add my AC bonus to any dex save I make if I'm not incapacitated. Can I expand that at all to to like any other save variations or something.
Unfortunately, no, they don't have anything.
Okay,
Well,
I
not
figured.
within your price range.
I figured, but figured I'd ask. Okay. And the shield that would allow me to recover with a reaction, that still lets me do bash damage on my bonus action shove.
Uh,
That's what I'm looking for with that.
yeah.
Okay. Okay. That means I can do
Attack with your sword, then bash, and then use your reaction. Basically, you won't be able to do attack of opportunities, but you get to shields.
That's fine. Hmm. I'm very tempted. I'm very tempted by this. Galatea, do you want anything? If you do, please ask for it and give me time to think this over.
I do at least have a question, Miss Curia.
Curia, yes.
May I ask where this particular shield was gotten from? She points towards the one with the Betharan symbol.
It was sold to me by a gentleman from Passantrum. He said that he won it in a competition, and did not suit his combat style, and was looking to get rid of it. And no one really wanted it because the strange nature of these shields that the Bothrian folk use.
Wait, did she say it was sold to him in Parsanship?
He won it in a competition, is what I was informed. I believe might have actually been a game of cards from the way that the man talked and spoke.
Okay.
It's like mulling that over because it sounds weird. Like how old or new does this thing look?
Yeah. Are they open to haggling at all for the shield? I have no idea if that's a thing in this world.
Yeah, you can try and haggle.
Neat.
What's your counter offer?
We'll go for 10 on the round shield with rune markers on it.
And that's a 33% discount. Okay, give me a second. That's roll me a persuasion check, please.
Well,
Unfortunately, I cannot do that. The most I can decrease it by would probably be 35 silver.
I'll
At
take
most,
it.
Galatea
It's
could probably
okay.
like aid him with that, but
I mean, if you could, I wouldn't complain. It's not like you can make it worse.
I mean, she's already kind of in on this conversation since she'd been talking about the other shield. She's haggled with curios before.
Oh, 1 second, actually. Not 35 silver. Let me get out my calculator. No, that's not.
No, can't help you
We
there.
are not good at this. Oh no.
As you try and step,
I'm sure if I rolled my physical dice, it'd be great.
yeah. Apparently, Roll20 does not want you to get any discounts.
I rolled a fucking 20 with my Galatea die. Oh fucking god.
I wish we could play in real life. I really do.
God damn.
Maybe get a
I
camera
kid you
to
not,
focus
I
on
literally
dice.
rolled a natural 20 on
Hey, if
Purple
you
and
can get a
gold.
camera pointing at your dice and put it up on screen, I'll probably take it. Considering that Discord allows now for video play, you can actually do something like that if you're interested. Though that means I have
Heck
to put on a
yes.
t-shirt. We can actually start doing that if you guys want to use face cams.
I'd have to buy one.
She unfortunately does not return a smile as she says, "Unfortunately, the prices are set as they are."
Damn. All right. This is fine. Yeah, I'll pay for it.
The shield, Galatea, is basically what? Let me put it this way: you have, being your family and the fact that the women are more military styled than most other families. You also have a style of this that would probably be at home right now.
Uh-huh.
And would also probably be in your tomb. Considering that you're considered dead.
So this is definitely like a noble only access, like
Yes.
symbolic type thing.
It's a symbolic shield, yes.
Yeah. Basically,
Basically, these things are carried by nobles as especially nobles of important roles. It's every man, and in your case, women, are trained for battle and everything like that. And I believe I've just been told by Zoe that she is ready to be picked up.
Okay.
Jesus.
Yeah,
All
right.
right.
Fucking roll 20. So that's why we stopped in my weekend game and just started using physical dice.
So basically, yeah, the general culture of the noble families is that you basically are always, there is a when you're young, you go into the militia training and everything like that. Generally, most stay out of it when they get old, especially when they're like your cousin and all that jazz. But it's usually when you're a nobleman, you have a specialized shield, a specialized sword, and such that is used as a ceremonial style thing.
I'm very surprised he brought it the fuck over here.
Probably it's more along the lines of he was forced to carry it. Like his mother probably said, "You're going overseas and everything like that. Now you have to continue being a Simbari and everything like that. So you have to take this, you take that. Make sure you have a change of underwear."
And like, what's the kind of social implication of losing it in a bet and just having it show up like anywhere else?
Generally, these things are put on your grave after you perish. You tell me what you think that means.
It means the Galatea is slightly curious how much it is.
The price of the shield that has a mark that is a Simbari. How do you pronounce it again?
Decembri.
Decembri. The Decembri mark is priced at a very low price. Looks like she's been trying to get rid of it because no one really is interested in the Tau shields. It's very much basically it's very much a Bethurium style combat to use a Tau shield, and not many of the Caledonian or even the Alstinian people are interested in using it. So its price is actually quite cheap. Comes in at about let's see, where is my sheet? I keep shutting these things down. I really shouldn't. The Tau shield. It comes in at. The general price for a normal Tau shield at home would come in at about 3 gold pieces at best. This is coming in at about a gold piece.
Interesting. I'm a bit tempted by that.
Okay. Right, so if you guys are willing to wait for about 30 minutes whilst I go get my goal, I'll be back shortly.
Okay.
Sure.
But yeah, so 15 gold pieces for that shield.
Yep, already marked them off.
Fantastic. Yeah. These things are a little bit more expensive because of the actual rune marks. Rune marks I have been pricing a bit cheap. And I really need to start making a little bit more expensive. Anyway, back soon.
Yep.
Wait, did he just say he was going to make things more expensive?
Yeah.
No!
know.
I'm so poor!
Yeah.
Jesus.
Ugh. I really want.
What?
As much as she freaking hates that shield, she wants it just because that is really good. That is really good blackmail. But not so much blackmail, it's just like social stab. The problem is, I have no place to put it, and I don't use it.
Yeah, I don't really want to use a tower shield either.
This is mostly I'm considering if she would consider buying it and then just keeping it in the back to bring out later.
Keep it in the bank.
But then I have to spend a bunch of gold to get a bank account that depletes my gold every month.
Every month? Yeah, that's true.
And then I still have to come back here to pick it up. But at least having it when talking to the David Helia here might be a little bit helpful. Especially if she can get get Kyria to kind of sign a thing about where she got it from. Or if there was like a signed thing when it was sold to her. As a sort of proof of authenticity type statement about where it came from and what it was supposed to be.
That would be useful.
Because, like, being able to, like, eventually bring that back home, that is, like, political suicide for that family.
Unless he's dead and somebody just stole it off his grave.
Oh, he's definitely not dead.
Okay.
He is in Prosantum.
Okay.
Yeah, the explanation that she knows so far is that he also has he came over here as the ambassador in Parsantium, which was supposed to be Galatea's job, and then he decided, he's pretty low on the political ladder back in Bathra, so he decided he'd probably get to the top of it in Parsantium, since they basically worship Bathrans and people with, actual Bathran blood, especially noble bloodlines. So he decided he'd get a noble chip by marrying into one of their families and sort of elevating himself that way.
Okay. That's scummy, but a decent plan.
Another problem, he has a wife and family back home.
Oh, boy.
They don't know that.
Of course they don't. Oh, good for him. No, not good for him.
Yeah. So he's been just living at large, getting more power over here because he can. Problem is, he also has a pretty good bodyguard that he uses in the Colosseums in Persantium. So Galatea has kept herself as being dead so that she can sneak around without having any potential other new attacks on her life.
Neat. Okay. That also makes sense.
And her family is also very big on taking care of business, as it will. She's kind of hoping that at least talking with the ambassador here, who is basically her first cousin on her mom's side, might be a way to get a little bit more information and to start shifting political stuff and being able to get messages back home through them. Including potentially that shield.
Alright. You have quite a political thing going on.
Yeah, it's honestly what I rolled. It was that whole, rolling for backstory shit.
I didn't do any of that. We were supposed to roll for backstories?
No, we all did that at the beginning. He has, had a bunch of, D100s and D20s and D10s we were supposed to roll for basically putting together a stream of consciousness type thing that turned into a backstory.
Huh.
I didn't quite understand what the heck any of it meant. He kind of had to, go through it and kind of explain it in more actual... It seemed more like a stream of consciousness random thing. Oh, how was it even worded? It was where is that? Back up somewhere. What the heck is it? Damn it. Oh, I've talked a lot more than I thought I did. So far back. Oh wait, maybe? Where the heck is it? Oh. Okay, so it went this is literally what all the stuff rolled put together. It was physical trap, natural haunting, straying / lost, solved by favored ability, easy savage bandit, solved by close friend, personal unmistakable relative, solved by favored ability.
Huh. Okay.
And then so the theme is that there was a physical trap, meaning that your character was trapped somewhere somehow. Perhaps the haunting, straying, or lost represents being lost in a maze or forest or something, but you escape due to favored ability of your character. And just before escaping the maze forest, whatever you were set upon by a bandit ambush, but a close friend, maybe another PC, rescued you. That was probably Dimitri. And you found out there was a relative who trapped you. You know without a doubt it was them, and now you're using your skills to find them, as they have left for Calinstime. And then I had to start coming up with actual, like, nobility for Bathra.
Hey, I can be on my phone.
Oh shit!
I forgot I can do that. Sitting in traffic.
It's probably not a good idea to DM while you're trying to drive.
Oh, no, it's all good. I'm just coming in just to chat whilst I'm waiting for this traffic light, because this traffic light's notorious for being forever.
Mm-hmm.
I want someone minutes once. Where it's
Discussing all
terrible.
this political intrigue and political, hopefully, assisted suicide going on through the shield.
What? Oh. Sorry, I thought for a second we were talking about Anders' new shield.
No.
No. I assume there's nothing weird about my shield.
Oh, no.
Just the
Other than
weirdness
fact that
of
it's got...
how the random rolls for the backstory just became this political intrigue situation.
That's what I do. You gave me enough knives.
Technically, I rolled
That's-
for those knives.
I know. But still, I'm making use of them. Would you rather me not make a cool story about it?
No, it's good. I just need all the information up front about how I'm supposed to deal with it. At least.
No. I mean, owing you a few informations that I've been forgetting to give. Like what Esther overheard from the noblewoman. There's some shit in there that would be useful to use.
Oh yeah, I bet it would. It'd be good to have since it's been like weeks.
Yeah, I know. Just that alarm forgot to remind me.
Like weeks in dream.
Yeah. And I don't know what's going to happen about Esther. Anyway,
Yeah.
give me a second. I'm going to give my girlfriend a call. Hang up. Nope.
I'm trying to look up potential symbols for that house.
Maybe I'll actually start writing some of those knives.
Stab, stab, stab.
I mean, we were off for like a month.
Yeah. I made
just
like half
never
of a
got
family
around to
tree,
it.
but not even that.
Well, you said wait on the comfy chairs.
Yeah, I know. I said wait for the comfy chairs, but still.
How
Anyway,
comfy are
back,
those
guys.
chairs?
Very comfy. No, it's...
Oh, you're on Discord.
Yeah, I realised I can be on Discord as well. Now I'm going to
Hello.
get out from the truck.
Hey guys.
Yo.
I don't think anyone's met you before, have they, though?
No, I don't think
Overheard.
I've met you guys.
This is Zoe, my girlfriend. I've just picked her up.
I'm Mo Kitty.
Yeah, she's Mo Kitty on the Discord.
Didn't we discuss that, like, we kind of sound alike from far away?
You mean me and you?
Yeah.
It's Zoe. American accent, probably. Yeah.
I know, like, we talked. Somebody I talked to ended up sounding
I don't know.
like me, but
I don't know.
maybe
But
it's
yeah.
someone else's girlfriend.
Probably. So yeah, as I was saying about the shield, yeah, basically they're designed for family. Basically, keep a hold of them to represent you and everything like that, and they can be a lot of different things, like from a mark or something like that. Generally, you're supposed to show them in special moments and everything like that, carry them into battle and stuff. Like if you're called up for war and stuff, depending on what your or what else was I saying about the shield before I had to get going? Fuck me! You came out of fucking nowhere. Hate that light. Bastard didn't have his indicator on. Had a fucking indicator on and everything.
Maybe you should just drive.
Yeah, it's
No,
probably a good
I
idea.
was driving. No, what it was is that there's a traffic light that lets the right turn happen at the same time as the crossover from the other side of the road. And there's some people that just come straight fast as anything down that street just so they can beat the light. Even if they can see people turning right, they still blame them as if they're fully right away. They don't realize that everyone has right away in that fucking turn. It's the worst light of them all. Drives me insane. Okay, what else was I saying about the shield? Where were we up to?
Ceremonial brought into either battle or in special.
Basically, it's like when you reach your what's the word I'm looking for? Something about birth of age, or what do we call it?
Coming of age, basically.
Coming of age, yeah. When you reach coming of age and you enter the military and everything like that, you are given the shield and sword of the family as a symbol of honor, because almost every militaryman of the noble family is basically does a 3-year stint in the military, and in your family's case, the females do that as well. And generally, you carry these shields to represent your family and everything like that. And it's just how the system works, and they're generally designed to be carried by you everywhere you go if you go out of your homeland and everything like that. Especially in the case of the actual thing, your folks had probably got your shield ready for you and everything like that when the your family's name was chosen to be the representative. But when you mysteriously died and everything like that, it turned into the gravestone marker. You know what I mean? Placed over your grave.
Huh. This kind of like rewrites some stuff in backstory because it doesn't quite make sense about like if there's military training, you don't just go after someone with military training with like a few bandits.
Well, it's more along the lines of you already are a military woman, and it wasn't probably just a few bandits. It was probably more of like an ambush in the way that you weren't prepared for it and shit like that. You know what I mean?
I think so, but
Doesn't matter how well.
prepared enough to deal with it myself and like maybe Dimitri.
Yeah, it was more along the lines of the mistake was that you are a lot more aggressive than what was originally thought. Because no matter how well trained you are, when you suddenly get shot from a distance from the shadows and unprepared, an ambush can still kill a general.
Yeah, like those fucking goblins.
Yeah. Because no matter how well trained you are, a hidden blade can still kill. So yeah.
And this is why you got your military fight and your barbarian style of fighting and everything from blah 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 backstory shit.
Yeah, I just assumed that was always a more hidden thing. Since she's supposed to be like,
Hmm?
Lady of the Court, la la la.
Well, it's probably more on the lines that no one actually was really aware that you were military trained because of that reason.
Mm-hmm. But if it was family, they might know that, like, if a particular family, everyone does it.
Well, even then, the Alatori, fucking, how do you pronounce your fucking name again?
Diavery.
Diavri. I was about to say Alatori. That's a fucking different character altogether.
It's a very different character.
Like Avery, like Avoria, like Ivory.
Hmm. Who was Alatori? Was that fucking Assassin's Creed? Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Auditory.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway,
that's it.
yeah. Anyway, your family might more do it in the lines of private training or something like that, or a special unit. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of different ways that we can
This
easily
is all
write.
stuff that's coming to me now, not when I was making the character.
Oh yeah, well that's the thing. It's like I'm still developing the Bathuriums, and like I said, I'm not going to stick with the name Bathurium. It's the placeholder name that's good enough for now, but when I want to actually try and write this up for real, I'm going to have to do something else because it's actually a stolen name, for lack of a better word. So I kept reading the name out instead of the actual replacement name.
It's just tough because it's like having like a schizophrenic character as you're like figuring out backstories as you're going along.
Oh, trust me, it's worse when you're a fucking DM trying to figure out the world and keep forgetting that. Oops, hang on a second. All your extra storylines have it in gold currency, not the silver currency. Oops, I'll let this guy through. So when I say 100, I should be actually saying 10, not 100, because 100 is a lot of money. That's the one worst thing about
you. Changed the currency system.
No, we changed the currency system so that I could have a little bit more of a gold is more important idea. Because I always hate the fact that everyone just goes gold, 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 gold. It's like, you know what is required to mine gold? The amount of gold in the D&D world means that there must be the biggest gold veins underneath that fucking that crust. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're dragging
I understand that part. It's just more along the lines of you need to write this stuff down ahead of time so you don't tell us something and then 2 weeks later say, oh, I meant this, like, 70% less amount. Or 70% more amount, depending.
Yeah, I know, but it's my bloody sleep and problems that I have that cause me to be half awake 90% of the fucking time.
Not to mention
Spreadsheets. Make an Excel sheet.
Yeah, true. Zoe just reminded me that apparently whilst I'm asleep.
Oh boy.
That's fun.
I sleep D&D apparently.
I normally I have a whiteboard near my desk, so I just like sketch up notes and numbers on that before session.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to be going out of sync, so I'll talk to you guys in a bit.
Later.
Latest.
Part of me just kind of wants to give the Decembries a skunk symbol and be like, fuck you.
Nice. Serial killer names. How do we feel about the Bone Keeper?
That's not bad. Is
Okay.
that it? Is that his thing? He keeps bones?
He rips the bones out of people and
Ow.
keeps them. He doesn't after they're dead, but yeah.
That takes a while. So like go for the collarbone, like break it like a wishbone.
It does. Man, I wasn't planning on putting that much thought into the logistics of how the Bone Keeper rips people's bones out of their bodies.
Well, I mean, you kind of have to rip through other things first to get to the bone and then rip it
I
out.
mean, I figured he would like cut towards the bones and then just like rip it out when he saw bone.
I guess it depends on how much muscle is there, because that would like.
Yeah.
You have to cut through a lot before you can just rip something out like that, probably, depending on how much muscle mass and everything that person has.
Yeah. Yeah. Apparently, there's you know how there's that fantasy name generator site?
Yeah.
There is a murderer and serial killer generator on there.
Nice. Of course there is.
Yeah, apparently there's just everything. Which is... Jesus Christ, there really is everything. There's a whole subsection for pets and companions. Who the fuck names a Hydra?
Someone who has a Hydra as a pet.
Apparently. Okay, neat.
I also need to stop commissioning new characters because I have an addiction.
Oh no. So maybe the Meaningless Bloodshed tournament was not a good idea for you.
uh... Yeah, well, that one's a little bit easier since I don't have to come up with, like, backstories or, like, any actual use besides combat stuff.
And back.
Hey.
Yep.
Right, so yeah. Where was I? Yeah, as I was saying, basically, a lot of this stuff that I'm telling you now is basically the stuff I should have worked out ages ago, but it's more I'm spitballing it and working out the idea and then bouncing off your responses with it. So yeah. I generally do keep a note of everything, but sometimes I just look at the prime material and I forget to look at my notes of make sure you say 10, not 100. And that's what happened when I said that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway. So, where were we? Yes. So the shield was 1 gold piece, and from what you know about these shields is that most families, maybe your family doesn't, I don't know. It's up to you. Maybe it's only for the boys. But the ideally is that this shield should not be bartered away, especially in a game of cards.
Oh, yeah.
So were you thinking about buying it?
She is. The problem is she has nowhere to keep it. Could... If I mod this, could I potentially put it away in one of the vaults that you might have in the back? I've done business before and I know that sort of thing exists.
Oh, you wish me to hold it for you? I can certainly do that for you. I just need all the information about who you are and how we can contact you in the future Natus. Of course, naturally, if you do not return within a certain period of time, I'll consider you missing, but yeah, I'm happy to do that for you. As long as you're happy to do that with me.
Yes, that's fine. I simply don't want it sitting about, but I have no place to put it just yet.
Understood,
I have
understood.
uses for it later, though.
I don't see how, but okay. Not my business, she says as she moves forward and lifts up the shield with no problems.
Oh, you know, a conversation piece.
Of course, of course. Seeds are taken out back.
Was there a... I suppose... When it was brought in, would it have had, like, a... Sort of like how pawn shops do this sort of thing, where you write down any information about it, like authenticity type stuff? Of how it was gotten, or that sort of thing. Just
Yes, of course.
interesting information that you just gave me, if it was written down by the person who sold it.
Yes, yes. As I informed you, it was won in a game of chance, and the user does not find use of it, so he traded it in. I am making a loss at this, but it's good to see it actually disappear. As you can see, Tau shields are not actually very much liked by the Caledonian folk.
I somewhat noticed that around here.
They generally use round shields. Kite shields aren't that common, but they are used as well.
Galteo at least gesture to Dimitri and have him grab the gold piece and hand to her.
Yep, no worries. 1 second. What's he doing? Chewing on the cord again? God damn it. Give me a second, guys.
Cats.
Right, so name so I can put it down the shield for you in future whilst I hold it for you?
I assume it was just a paperwork thing like from before, so she could fill
Yep.
it out.
Yep. It's a lot more well kept. You find her pulling out what looks to be a manila folder. Manila. Sorry, I got something stuck in my tooth there and I was playing with it with my tongue when I spoke. Manila folder and everything like that, to which she then pulls out the parchment that contains the information and such for items of hold and such. When you hope to pick it up and other details and like such. With that done, she resumes to put that away and such, and then looks about and is there anything else that I can be assistance with?
Not for me at the moment. Perhaps in the future.
Ander hefts his new shield. No, seems good. It should be good. Thanks.
Good to be of assistance. Anyway. So, as long as there's nothing else that you can think of that would be of need here in the actual store?
Nah, not now. Keep the rest of my money.
Right. Is there anything else that you want to have a look into of the trials of the trials of exchange?
I should be good.
Don't think so at the moment.
Actually, the trials of coin would sound better, wouldn't it?
Ooh. That's good.
Right. So, if you guys just finish your shopping and all that jazz and head back to the Spear of Lightning, you can find yourself being introduced by a gentleman that is a young halfling by the name of Giles. The inn itself has pretty much good rooms, woolen mattresses, fine-sized and finely crafted tables. The large rooms are actually quite comfortable looking up the back. There's a few remaining and enough for the party and everything like that, but they cost about 20 silver a night.
Okay.
Excuse me. He also offers a vault in the main office if you wish to store anything of high value.
I don't have anything of that.
This includes basically basically it's an offer to store adventurers' gold pouches that are way too heavy for what they can't afford a bank account.
Nah.
Okay.
Is that a problem around here?
The more money you carry, the more of a bigger target you place on your back.
Yes, but like an in-room specifically?
He guarantees that his inn is secure and that there hasn't been any break-ins for a long time, for as long as he knows. Then again, not many people would report if they lost a lot of things that and such, if it was something important and that they shouldn't be sharing and such. So he's not really sure of how bad it is, but it's generally an offer that he makes. Anything of value, like bags of gold, gemstones, things that need to be stored, but you can't find a more secure place, but you want to be close to it. It's just an offer, a service that he offers.
Just making sure.
One of the other things you notice about the inn is that it has a little library.
Ooh. All right.
It's very unique.
I'll go
Yeah.
look in there.
The common room has its basic tavern style set up and everything like that, but it also contains a small reading room with a little library attached to it. Mainly it contains history tomes and everything like that.
Okay.
Novels and other things like that. A few scrolls are actually for sale as well.
A history book off the shelf and just start browsing through it.
Sure. You find a bit of history about Idevent and how each of the isles got their names and such. You discover that a few of the isles are actually man-made, or magically made, for lack of a better word.
Okay. Neat.
It was more along the lines of that there was a few isles that were here to begin with, but some were raised up as a defensive measure, the outskirts of the Idevent Castle zone, that was actually a raised land as well. You see you know what I mean? This segment here is actually raised.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah, Earth was moved by magic to lift it up above.
Wait, the section that the shipyard's on?
Yeah.
They raised the shipyard?
Yeah, basically it was originally only this whole entire segment here down the bottom
Uh-huh.
did not exist. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I missed that part.
Yeah, sorry, I was burping. Yeah, that whole entire segment there did not exist when it was when the city was young.
Okay. So they raised it to actually make the shipyard.
Yeah.
Okay, I gotcha.
You find out that Idevent was the prime capital of the Caldorian Navy. Basically, it was the prime house of where the largest ships were built for the Caldorian army that fought back against the major civil war and everything like that between Steam and Caldor.
Okay.
And tales of small islands that are located around the actual city itself out in the lake are designed to actually cause a barrier when ships attempt to attack the city. A chain link wall would rise out of the water's base and form like a gigantic ship wall.
Okay.
Yeah. Just some cool little tidbits about like that.
Oh, that is interesting.
Yeah, because despite the fact of how open the city looks, it's got plenty of defenses.
Right. Okay. Neat.
As the night comes, a message comes to you, Galate.
Mhm.
I'm not going to tell you what you saw, but you could see that there was a temple located here, by the way. You have no idea what it is. So what did you say to the guard to send to your diplomat?
The key phrase that was along the letter ahead of time, Mon Zinagris.
Sorry, you cut out there.
The key phrase, which was Mon Zinagris, which is in High Batherin, a mountain in the plains.
I see. You're generally having your meal at this time of night when the messenger comes through. You had a choice of different meals, and those meals were... I'll let you have a feeling of what it was. Damn it. Open your stupid damn website. Steamed shark with a dried apricot and a glass of cider, or baked lamb with onion and a glass of mead. Those were two meals that were being on special for a low price of 2 silver for the shark and 4 silver for the lamb.
Yeah, some mead sounds good, right, man? So.
Zoe heard me say meat instead of mead.
The glass of meat. What do you want to? What do you want to eat, Kowalski? Meat. What do you want to drink, Kowalski? Meat.
Calm down there, Luffy.
Okay, so the contact that comes to searching for you is a young Bothorian man, very much dressed in the style of a scribe, at least at first glance. And when he comes towards your table, he picks you out immediately. And you actually recognize this as the diplomat themselves.
I'll slowly stand up with that.
He looks about the inn, a bit worried, before eventually approaches the table cautionally. Why are you here? I heard otherwise.
Otherwise, kind of half smirks at that.
He pauses for a bit before he eventually helps himself to a chair. So I assume that you're not dead?
Tales of my demise are a bit exaggerated, but I would thank you not to spread such information, cousin.
I would very much dislike informing anybody else about your arrival, because that leads to a lot of problems, doesn't it? So-
Unfortunately, it does.
Tell me, what do I owe this honor of your arrival here in Calinstime, of all places?
I was hoping you might be able to give me a little bit more information about our dear cousin, Decembri.
Yes, that little snake. I don't really have much to tell. He basically cut all ties to the embassies here in Idavent and basically disappeared off the face of the map, according to those that cared about him. And last I saw them, they were a lot more heavier in coin.
Are you saying he's no longer the ambassador?
No, he still acts as the ambassador, at least in their paperwork. He flags down one of the women and orders a baked lamb. So far from what I have been able to follow, he has basically contacted those that have the ability to send back messages. The ones that I have to communicate with and the ones that he would have to communicate with. And they are now acting as the ambassadors, it seems. I've tried to send a message back, but no one believes me, it feels.
Wait. So explain that. I that confused me a bit. So he's bribing people to do ambassador work for him, or how is that?
He's
how is that
basic.
working?
He's basically put somebody else. So basically, when you're an ambassador, when the ambassadors would have had a aide, the aide is now acting as the ambassador for the legal department, and those that would deal with him by visiting Santrum always come back heavy in coin, paid off. So they keep replying that all is well with Cimbri. Cimbri is doing a great job, great work. And dear this excuse me, don't know where that came from. There it is again. The Divati. How do you pronounce these words?
Divitelia?
Divitelia. Ambassador Divitelia basically has attempted to contact people back at home, but he's being intercepted, he says, at least on the receiving side.
So that's disturbing. So he's saying that like any messaging trying to get back to Bathra has been intercepted going forward, because that's not good, because she's done that a couple times.
Well, at least through my channels. You being dead, maybe
Okay, so it's just the
no one
it's just
notices.
the official
Yes, the official channels.
vessel. Okay.
Yeah, you're sending it via
Regular.
basically regular mail. These guys are sending it through a more express method.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he's not doing his job and he's bribing everyone who comes through to check on him. Is that what you're saying, cousin?
He's doing something, but I don't know what. I can't leave my position here, and any attempts to do so generally leads to me getting reprimanded. So I don't know what he's doing.
So you're not aware of his newfound status as a married man? Again.
Again. What's this? He's third? Fourth? So many rumors.
Oh, so you have heard?
Well, at least not this new one. Are you telling me that he's a new partner? Thank you. He says as a new plate comes in front of him.
Well, certainly one that's not his wife back home.
Which one?
Wait, is that a thing?
No, it's just the rumors. Trust me, the amount of things that you could think of that are bad, there is always a rumor going a lot wrong. Sometimes it's just made up because of like self-thought and all that jazz, and you have a feeling that it's like a self-thought thing for this with this conversation.
Oh. Certainly I didn't know of any extras back home, but I can be a bit more
No.
assured of this.
There have been the rumors, of course, that he is a ladies' man, for the lack of a better word, more of a lady taker. Some of them, I have actually seen a few that aren't actually been married, but have been a mistress for a while before they disappear.
I was curious how that worked, because I thought, like, I was trying to go along the lines of the whole thing that definitely extra marriage outside is bad back home.
Oh, it is. And when he gets caught with a mistress, they disappear the next day.
Aha. Yeah. So yeah, mistresses, yeah, not full on
Nope.
joining other families. Okay.
Yeah, definitely not joining other families. At least not with mother approved.
Yeah.
That's why there's the joke. And which one? Because it's like, how many mistresses does he have? How long is a piece of string?
Seems he's gone a bit further than a mistress this time around. But I can understand where he's getting the money for his escapades with the ambassador talk.
It's very interesting that it happens, though. They're supposed to actually keep a more private manner open. Let me rephrase that. A more open manner in the way of what everybody is doing. Everyone talks, everyone's supposed to communicate, but even our dear friends over in Sokult have disappeared as well. At least the messages. I haven't received anything from them.
The Disergia. Interesting.
I don't know what that means, but of course, the information only travels one way when it comes to them. We used to be in good contact, more private matters, just how you're doing and everything like that, of course. Then one day, my message was not returned. I sent multiple mail, and each one came back undelivered. Worried me, and I requested a inspection, and came back. They're busy, for lack of better words.
Taylor just looks troubled at that. Be surprised going between Disergia and Decembri. They tend to be closer than the rest of us.
Cut out there, sorry.
He's saying she's a bit like worried about that, considering, from what she knows, the December family and the DeSergio family are similarly close the way that Diaveri and Divitalia are.
Mm.
Like being merchant based versus the like physical asset
Labors.
based.
Yeah.
Do you think they've done enough in this?
I'm not really sure. There hasn't been, from the few mail and messages that I received from them, it wasn't leading to that line of thought. I asked them if they knew anything about December, and that's when it stopped. Are you busy?
Sorry, what was that?
Are you busy in the way of what you're doing here in Calinstime?
Busy is a way to describe it, yes. But
I can't ask if you can make a visit all the way over into Sokol. I know it is a long distance, but I could possibly find a charter boat that can get you and your colleagues over. It's at this point that he realized that Anders there, because Anders been so super quiet.
I have been, yes.
You've been absorbed in your book at the end of the table that he didn't even notice you. How long's he been sitting here for?
no mind, he understands for the most part. He's with me.
Of course. Who do you follow?
Ender
You look
nods.
You look like a holy man.
Of sorts, yeah.
Who gives you your gifts?
Shit, what's his name? Asdis?
The god of light?
His name is in my backstory somewhere. Sorry, I'm running knives.
Asdis, yes.
Asdis, yes. Him.
Hmm.
Oh,
Interesting.
like tilt my shield. Oh, my new shield doesn't have the emblem on it.
Nope.
Shit.
You can't
Damn.
use it as, and you can't even use it as a holy symbol because you swapped it over. And inscribing the holy symbol on it would probably ruin the rune marks.
Oh no. Okay, well, I'll get out my other one. To him.
Yeah, of course. Good to see that a man of your kind is assisting our dear cousin here.
He's been quite helpful, yes. Unfortunately, I've been having to go through a few more hoops than I expected once I came over. This adventurer's hole is about the only way I'm going to be able to get close enough.
Well, being dead in other lands kind of does that to you, doesn't it?
Yes, but it's better to be dead than targeted again. People don't tend to stick a target on the backs of those who've already demised.
I don't know what you're doing to your mic, dear, but you're cutting out constantly.
Sorry, probably like background stuff. I'm gonna start.
Easy as.
I'm actually gonna switch back over to push to talk to make that easier.
Yes.
Fix that. Okay, how's that?
Right here in Idevent, but if you are interested in making a visit to Sokol, I could probably find a charter and present a quest for the Adventurers Hall to be able to use for you. If you're interested, of course.
It's certainly of interest. Any more information I can get about what's been going on here will be helpful later. Thank you, cousin.
Of course. Now, as you might have guessed, I am not supposed to be out of the embassy. My disappearance might be missing soon, so I'll need to head back soon. But is there anything else that I can be of assistance with?
was mostly just in need of information and knowing that there's at least still someone with some kind of sanity over here.
Yes, the freedom that this continent gives to people really does offer the chance to lose it all. Doesn't help that I'm stuck behind a Noonian fools, of course.
Yes, I saw very well.
Yes. Apparently the Noonian Council has decided that Idovent was the one that they wanted to put all their eggs into. Now I'm stuck in the bottom of that basket.
I'm quite sorry to hear, but I'm sure
Well,
Mother would be happy to know that you're at least doing much better than I am in this particular instance.
Well, I will tell you this. You can thank your cousin for your sudden disappearance, because you would be sharing this, you would be taking my seat instead of this. You do realize that this is where you would have ended up if you hadn't been killed. He says it with air quotes.
Now I'm confused, because wouldn't I have had the Parsantian position?
Your cousin manipulated it. There was arguments after your passing. The plan was for me to have Parsantrum, but then your cousin changed their minds. Second best was going to go where the first was going to be missing.
Everything keeps changing.
I know. And I apologize. You had heard that Parsantrum was one of the aims for your family, but due to the fact everything was manipulated by your... Excuse me.
Did he dead?
Yeah, I think he died. Yeah, I think he died.
He did.
Burp to death. What a way to go.
Sorry about that, my throat acted up. Anyway, as I was saying, there was original plans for a conference to decide where everyone was going. And your cousin, Vivatari... God damn it. Vitelli were aiming for Parsandra to start, and they wanted to go there at the beginning, and they were going to fight for it and suggest that maybe you go to Idevent. So it's less of along the lines of this was definitely where you're going, but this is where he was hoping to put you. Because he really did not want to deal with the Noonians, and he knew that you were better to go at odds with them. So he was gunning for you to be here. You remember the stories that him telling the...
You okay, dude?
Oh,
Don't
gosh. I just hate my throat. It just stops swallowing for a few minutes, and then I start choking.
I know that. I know that feel.
Yeah. It's like your esophagus decides to swallow out of sync. Anyway, as I was saying, he wanted to suggest that you come here to Idevent, because he knew that, unfortunately, the Anunians were going to put all their eggs into this basket, and had a feeling that the Avori... Diavri... You really need to just put down a, this is how you say it, for me, please. It's driving me insane. Like, sound it out for me in text. Diavri.
It's like D-Ivory, except for D-Ivory.
Yep. I can see that now. But yeah, a Diavri would be able to handle Anunians. And considering that if you had been alive at the point and had your name, you basically would have been able to walk through that gate with no problems. The Anuns basically would treat you with a lot more respect. But that's why he wanted you to come here. And when he was kind of forced here, he's like, damn it, I really wanted her here. So
In
yeah,
that case,
he likes to pretend that this is where you were always going to end up.
Well, in that case, at least in response to his mention about that, like, I would have been there, then her response probably would have been, yes, but I'm sure it would have been a much better circumstance if we were working together in our separate areas, rather than Vel over there.
Yes. Indeed. I know that you were gunning for Pesantrum. Yes, I know. I still say you would have been a good fit here. It is a shame. Anyway, if there's anything that I can be of assistance with, we can always try and work something out. I'll give me a couple of days to think about it. If you're still in the city, I'll send a message here. Some way, shape, or form. You'll be able to notice. You'll easily notice it. It'll have a friendly mark on it. And I'll let you know if we can ever make another contact.
Sounds good.
I apologize. It is good to see that you are not.
That's good to see a friendly face.
Good luck.
Likewise.
Please remove that. Yeah, dear ugly one.
You were cutting
Hate
out that
him so-
time.
I hate him so much that default is him.
Trust me,
This
as
point
much as
he's-
you think you hate him, I hate him so much more, and I will be happy to deal with this once and for all.
Of course. It's at this point that he stands up and you realize that the whole entire time he's been talking, every time he even had a pause, he'd been eating. That whole entire meal is gone. And he's only been here for a few minutes.
Sounds like cousins. Cousin Sandra. Mother will be happy you still have your appetite, too.
Trust me, this was one of the better meals. Good luck, he says once again before he departs.
Give a nod and watch him go.
So,
She just sits and relaxes back into her chair and is kind of relieved that somebody has their sanity here.
yeah. Sorry there's a little bit of things changing. It's more like I'm trying to actually fix up the story so it fits a little bit more into a interesting little mystery for you. So there is a little bit of stuff that was predetermined at the start that I hadn't filled in, but I have a general idea of how the story now works. So yeah,
Okay.
small things. It's not big changes. It's just small things like mentions and stuff like that.
Okay. It's a potential side quest. Well, I suppose we should be looking into keeping an eye out for the Adventurers Hall for missions to Sokol.
From what you can see from Idevent itself, it is a very large city. And from your short visit to the Adventurers Hall, there is plenty of missions that are nearby, and many more that can fit into different jobs and such. The city itself of Idevent has its fair shares of different problems. The local lake itself is generally is largely fished out, heavily fished and everything like that. And one of the things that you might have noticed as you were visiting the Adventurers Hall and sitting down is that there's a lot of talk about underwater ruins somewhere deep in the center of the lake. It's a rumored ruin, at least, in the way of no one knows exactly where it is, but it's somewhere there. Boats and such like that have been lost nearby. One of those type of things. That at least is one of the things that you know for sure. A lot of conversation about it.
Interesting. Too bad we're not mer people.
Still, though, sucks for them.
I figure
But-
we can at least look into some missions
Excuse me.
in this area until hopefully Sandro puts up something for us. Waiting for that contact. What do you think, Andrew?
On what? Sorry?
Are you alright with sticking around here for a bit and running some missions until hopefully
Oh, yeah.
Context is back?
Yep. I'm fine with that. Plenty of people that need helping in a city this size.
That is the capital.
Hmm.
Don't like the fact that there's so many Anoons around here. I suppose again if they helped.
Luckily, most of them are actually stuck with the embassy themselves. There, of course, is plenty of Anun and small smatterings of Bethurians that visit the capital city, seeing as that there is a embassy nearby. 1 second. And such. Give me a sec. Anyway, but yeah, they're more adventure types now. Such. Some other things that you might have noticed whilst you were visiting the actual embassy is that the people that do enter seem to be more the noble kin of the Anunian folk. Usually escorted by at least 2 different guards, and basically the guards are always what is the words I'm looking for? The guards that follow them seem to be attached more towards the embassy than the actual noble that they are escorting. In the way of, they have no requirement to follow all the orders, it seems. As you were arguing. It's in the way of, like, they would ask, can we go they'd have to get permission to visit a certain location in the city. At least that's what you've watched, at least, and saw.
So it's like house arrest in their own embassy.
Almost.
I can kind of tell by their cheerful dispositions.
It's not really house arrest, it's more along the lines of the people that come out with the nobles, because you literally were standing there for a good 20 minutes before the guard finally gave in and just went to go deliver your fucking message for you. Which drove you mad, probably.
Wore him down.
Yeah. Have you sent the message yet? Have you sent the message yet? Have you sent the message yet? Just wondering, have you sent the message yet?
No, just stand there, just staring down like
Yeah.
piercing daggers.
Yeah, pretty much. This is why your cousin thought you would fit here perfectly. Anyway, but yeah, a few noble Anun diplomats had left the actual embassy or come back, and the guards that followed them basically would remind them that we are only heading in this location, and this is the location that we are heading. We are not making any divergences, and like they're being hashed about what they can and can't do in the city.
Okay.
Which is probably why your cousin came out dressed as the scribe.
Yeah, that totally makes sense.
Because he can't be fucking out of the fucking embassy at all.
It is the capital, and they're not Batharan otaku. Batharan weeaboos.
But after talking to your cousin, you do sense that feeling that something is definitely going on with the embassies.
Oh yeah, he basically said there was something weird going on with the embassies.
Yeah. But no,
Part of it
the...
is Vel fucking up shit.
Well, even more so when you think back to how the diplomats were being treated by the guards.
Yeah.
It's not just affecting that of the, him. Affecting that of the others as well.
So just every diplomat from Galata, like everybody from Galata is just being kind of like put
Shepherd.
on edge, yeah. Being kind of fucked with, basically.
In a way, yeah.
Does it seem
At
like
least they can leave.
Yeah. Does it seem like it's kind of like a I guess country relations have kind of like started falling apart between the two continents.
1 second. Jasper, away from the damn phone. Keeps playing with that cord. That's why he wants you to check up on Soku.
That
He
makes
hasn't got
sense.
any news about the city, the continent over that, the country on that side. Nation on that side, sorry. Basandrum looked like a peaceful place, but that was only because it was a city-state.
Mm-hmm. That and he seemed to be fucking with the flow of information.
Someone is. It's not just your cousin there. Your second cousin. Right.
Plot thickens.
It does. At the moment, you're the main story character of this
Oh,
group.
no.
Of the two of us.
No, of the whole entire group at the moment, because we've gone from Pasantrum to here for this reason.
Well, I
Right,
mean,
it was
also
mainly-
to get to the...
Yeah.
We had to go to one of the places anyway.
Yeah, but this
Galta's
one was the one
only
that was
who kind
chosen.
of, like, asked that it be this one just because she had that tie.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
But we're going to go to one of them either way.
Yeah. Well, the other problem is that I haven't really set up a the starting point for Josh's story. Trying to remember, what did I send you a text version of what it was on your mirror view? I don't remember.
I did not get one, no.
You
I am in
didn't?
the
Oh,
process
no.
of writing. I'm in the process of writing some knives for you, though. So
Yeah. Because I still haven't given you your mirror view,
yeah.
have I?
So I have one on there right now that might be relevant for that. If
Did I give you
the
Did I give you the bonds?
bones?
The bonds.
No.
I thought I gave you those. Let me just get those.
I just
Like
need to
I
make sure I've
wrote,
seen anything weird.
That is for when you get a player to play him.
Damn.
all right, neat. But yeah, I wrote Ender's backstory thing, and I'm writing knives for him. But
Oh, I've got a way of implanting knives as well.
okay.
Shit. What are they
What are
called?
they
They're not
called?
bonds. They're called. Um. Damn it.
Describe the thing.
Hooks. And bonds. It's
Plot hooks.
Give me a second.
It's not
DM
bombs?
skip.
Or knives.
Something else. It's that D10, D100 thing.
Oh, yeah, so the backstory stuff I just talked to you about.
Oh yeah, you were. Paul was telling me about that earlier.
Yeah. What were they called? I'm trying to remember what they're actually called. They're not bonds. They're
Flaws, ideals, events.
no. It's a couple of. It's a. Just trying to remember what it's called.
Story hooks. Background hooks. Themes?
No, bold. That's it. Bolds, not bond. Bold.
What?
Sorry. Excuse me. Deeds, they're called. Right, could you do me a favor, please, and roll me... where is it? Fuck me, where is it? Here it is. Roll me a... 2d10s, please? You can use your own personal dice if you've got personal dice in front of you.
They're near me.
If you want to trust your personal dice. You scroll. What I said there.
All right, I got an 8 and a 9.
8 and a 9. Personal rival.
Ooh. Okay.
Give me a second. I'm just going back to the information so I can figure out how to personally sing. Okay. So the theme is a personal rival. Okay. Theme of this bold. So that is the theme. Okay, now roll me another D1, 2d10s and a D100.
My 2d10 are a 6 and a 4.
6.
And my d100 is an 89.
80. Nine. Okay, and then roll me a 2d10 and tell me the total.
$14.
Okay, so this is basically how these bolds work. They are a combination of using a collection of these dice rolls to determine a theme, which was a personal rival.
Okay.
And then we use the 2d10s and the d100 to determine the way that you deal with things. They are like 3 different arcs of your story, right?
Sure.
There is a meek, find haven with a meek hermit. And what was the combination number?
14.
14. Okay. Now do that another two more times. So two d10s plus d100 plus the total of two d10s.
I have a 17 for the first 2d10.
No, the first two d10s I need separate numbers. Sorry.
Sorry, 7 and a 10.
7 and 10. And d100.
69.
Nice.
Wow. Okay.
And a 9.
9, huh? And once more. By the way, just quickly, the order of which you tell me these numbers determine how this is read, by the way.
Oh, okay.
So
So I have a 9 and a 10 for my
Okay.
first 2d10.
So it's a question of, do you want to be a 10 and a 9 or a 9 and a 10?
I think I already did a 10 as the first one. So let's be a 9 for the first one for this one.
Okay.
I have a 38 for my D100.
Yep. 8.
And 10 for my last, for the combination.
Strong. Okay. So, this is interesting. The theme of your tale of this part here is that there's a personal rival. Okay.
Okay.
So you find haven with a weak hermit who
With
deals with
weak.
a meek hermit. Sorry,
Okay.
that deals with a weak attribute of yourself. Right. Then there is a fledgling party that disappears on you, and this is resolved in a way by a close friend. Maybe you lost a friend in that disappearance, or maybe a close friend of yours found you after the disappearance of your whole entire party. It's really how you read it.
My party disappears, and then a close friend
Comes into it somehow. It's a salute. Basically, what it is that there is the theme, then there is the waylay, which is the problem, which is the party disappearance, fledgling party disappearance, and then there is a solution, which is a close friend. Okay.
What's the theme for this one?
Personal rival. The whole entire thing is personal rival.
Oh, okay.
And then finally, the last one is an epic adept of the strange. That's what you rolled. And then finally, its solution is that of the strong attribute. So, like, you can form that as a case of you find haven with a meek hermit who you go to seek to solve a problem within yourself that you find as a weak point about you. And as you do so, you tell stories about a party that disappeared and you're losing a close friend. And you are pulled into a vision quest of sorts. And during that time, you become you face an adept warrior or something like that. That you suddenly turn out to find that weak attribute is now your strength. That's an example of it.
Okay. Do they all have to feed into each other as directly as that?
Generally, yes.
Okay.
Not really, no. If you're okay with me sharing what you got, Flint.
Yeah, I think I almost read it before.
You there, Flint?
Oh, sorry. Yeah. I kind of,
Yeah.
half read it before.
Yeah. So, are you okay with me sharing what your bold was?
Yeah, it's fine. I'm pretty sure I already told him.
Okay. So hers was a physical trap was the theme. There was a natural haunting, straying loss solved by a favored attribute. A easy savage bandit solved by a close friend, and then a personal unmistakable relative solved by a favored ability. Sorry, was hers. And this turned into her cousin. And also, what's that?
Okay, I think I got something for this. I need a bit more time. It fits pretty well with how I wanted to run with Ander, anyways.
It does. It's amazing when you look at something and go, "Holy shit, this works." Am I right?
All right. I can work this.
Yeah. This is what led to also Galatea's vision. Do you want me to remind you of what that was?
Sure.
Let me
Some
find
one
it.
with a bunch of knives that are about to stab her.
Just re-find it. Where is it?
Yeah, if nothing else, the knife I already wrote you is a good explanation for why I have that glove.
Yeah. Ooh, yes. And then you can bring in that as well. That's even better.
Oh, that one's already written. It's his own little.
Yeah, I
thing.
know.
Yeah,
I know.
What
Same.
feeds into my vision thing?
Yeah, I'm trying to find it. I can't remember how far down I went since I last
But,
posted it to you.
what connects to that?
Oh, how the different things, how your waylay led to your bold led to your cousin being birthed. Yeah, the whole entire thing at the start about the personal trap and everything turned into your cousin, didn't it? Physical
basically.
trap. Yours is actually very short now, I think about it. That's because it's quite simple. You're always going to be backstabbed, is what it's saying.
Right? Yeah, it's the one with all the knives. Okay.
Knife. Yeah. Out of everybody's, yours is the shortest, I swear.
Huh.
That's because yours was the most simplest thing ever, to be honest.
Terrible luck.
Just that you're always going to be faced with backstabbing.
Well, yeah, that's nobility in a nutshell for you.
Mm.
So your goal, Ander, is to front stab. It makes it more exciting that way.
He's a paladin, he can't strike from behind.
I'm a vengeance paladin. I can do whatever is necessary. All right. So I'm just gonna
Vengeance
paste
paladins do it from whichever way is necessary. I think I need that.
So
in
just to make sure that these are all right. I didn't mistype them or something.
Double check that I got it all right myself. Yeah.
All right, neat.
Let me see, what was so long ago now. I don't. Right, back. Fuck me. So, is there anything else that we can think of right now that we need to talk about?
No, I think I'm good.
I just need your story so I can start thinking about what your sort of vision was.
Yeah, no worries. I will get that to you.
Oh, good. Take your time, though.
Right. I'll put the thing I wrote for the glove in there as well.
Cheers.
Woo, progress.
Oh, okay. Apparently, Discord has a character limit.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Drives me insane when I'm trying to send messages as well. Big, huge things that I need to talk about and shit like that.
All right, I just split it into two.
Yeah. No worries.
It's just no longer beautifully indented.
Yeah, that's another thing too.